Is, are we going to try and snag the art book?
Yes.
It costs like $100 something. I don't think England can afford another dip like that again.
Send me the link.
I'll
okay.
I'll set
art book from.
Yeah, I saw God of War Ragnarok had an art book when I was searching up books to buy for fucking research purposes.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll buy it.
Get all the braziers, right?
Yes, it's called The Art of God of War Ragnarok. It's coming out December 20.
Is there?
Yep. Wait, this is coming out later. Oh, this isn't what I'm talking. Oh my God, there's a second art book. Kyle, it's 240 pages.
Hey?
Bro, what if? What if the barrier statement is here?
And I'll let you know.
Well, actually, this one's pretty cheap, but this is the one I was talking about. Also, hello, Newen. I am streaming. If hello, Dark Lord. That's not the one I was talking about, though. We'll go here. This is the one I was talking about. The Art of God of War Ragnarok Deluxe Edition. Do you think we need this?
Oh my God, Mangler's here.
Hey Mangler, there's a new Ragnarok art book, buddy. It's coming out December 22nd. Let's go.
It's the exact same.
Knew this.
Except one comes with extra shit.
There you go, Mangler. Your collection is gonna be complete.
Yeah, it's just
there's a new
Dude,
one.
You literally just sent me a link to the art of God of War Ragnarok, and then the other one is the art of God of War Ragnarok Deluxe Edition.
Yes.
Deluxe Edition just comes with extra shit with like statues and stuff. That's not necessary for me unless they've put fucking lore on Kratos' fucking nutsack.
To be fair, I didn't know there was a second one. I thought it was just the Deluxe Edition.
that's.
Well, the description says it's going over the process.
I believe that's just the
Slow down, Atreus. Take care.
Mangler, no! Dang, you gotta go wake up early tomorrow. Oh, hopefully that works out well, Newen. Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm saying I believe the Deluxe Edition's just a bunch of collectible stuff. What's your typical Deluxe Edition has been like since I think Ascension? I actually had one for Ascension that was basically the same thing, or Collector's Edition. They'd give you just like a figurine of Kratos with like your standard
I see. How powerful is Supernatural Eve?
actually work on presentation. More powerful than all of the monsters in Supernatural, because she birthed them all.
You can pretty much put her above the of the progenitor monsters. I think the best progenitor monster we have is like what, the vampire?
No, the Leviathan.
Right.
Well,
I keep forgetting that.
What?
Be part of that.
Yeah, well, so when you say progenitor monster, I'm like, are you referring to the first generation? Because I believe that's the Leviathan.
Well, the progenitor is just the first of that species.
Then yeah, that would include the Leviathan, because when they go there, because when they kill Eve in Season 5, you don't actually see her again in And this is sadly for good reason, because she, she doesn't. I don't think you ever see her true form, because Eve basically can take whatever form she wants, and she appears as their
Yeah,
mother.
don't explain shit to them.
That's
But
right. Because she also survives being bathed in dragon fire.
yeah, she's burned by the ashes of a phoenix. Or
Right, new hit. He's
I
taking
think-
your Yon.
so what I remember is that I think Eve tries to bite him, and then Dean like somehow got like the ashes of a phoenix inside his body. I think he swallowed it and held it inside like the back of his throat, so when she bit him near his throat, she bit into the ashes.
Morgana.
I don't know how the fuck that makes sense. Like, I think there's a specific way that it's explained in the scene, but like, she basically bites him, gets into the ashes of the phoenix, and then he's just like, ashes of a phoenix.
My life is a mistake, New, and I'm sorry.
Also,
Something like that.
I forgot that Eve also made the Jefferson Starship in like an instant. She can just make new monsters on the fly.
I completely fucking forgot that they called them the Jefferson Starships. What were those again? I know they weren't, you know.
Things that can control your body. And you have to like burn them out with electricity. But you have to like plug up all of the ears, mouth, and the nose.
And they called them Jefferson Starships because
Because they were named by a guy named
Dean doesn't
Jefferson.
like because Dean dislikes the band Starship,
What?
and he said you can't fucking kill
What
him.
the fuck? Starship's not that bad.
Not your competence that is in question.
not according to Dean.
Trash takes from a trash Winchester. Bruh.
I don't know. I feel like you'd like Dean more than Sam, to be honest.
Doesn't mean he can't be trash. I like pieces of trash every now and again. I like myself every now and again.
Oof.
Someone has to.
Sam, do you know if volcanic stone is good for anything? I feel like I've got 70 of these now.
Volcanic stone? In what context?
In Elden Ring.
I don't think they do anything, but I think you can trade them. Why are they on the boat ride? Because God of War doesn't like loading screens, so they give you hidden loading screens.
Maybe
It's
I'll be honest, they're almost
look,
as
it's
good
a
as
little
normal loading
reference.
screens.
No, look, them being on a boat is a little reference to how he got to the North Pantheon. It's a little Easter egg.
So,
Okay.
yeah, no, so that's pretty good. Good shit.
Oh, is that a map?
I'm gonna have to fucking work my ass
whoa.
off these next 2 weeks to finish college, hopefully strong, but I have no faith in myself, and I basically just want to pass without failing at least one of them.
That's the spirit.
So I'm thinking
think.
thinking just a few bottles of pills, some white snow, and I think I'll have enough energy to get through it in one night.
That's the
Have you ever
spirit.
tried the Cobain method?
No, I can't afford the shotgun.
I was just gonna say, get really, really fucking done on heroin and still bang out an album somehow.
Oh. No, I was thinking a little darker.
Oh, Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, you said Hendrix? No, I thought you said Cobain, like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, I did.
Wait,
And then
but-
you said
wait,
you're thinking
But
something
yeah,
darker.
because all you say about Kurt Cobain is how he took a shotgun to the face.
Yeah, he was also a massive heroin
Anyways,
addict.
hang on. Anyways, can you guys move the Ragnarok streams to either Monday night, Wednesday night, or Friday night? First off, I don't know where you live in order to like actually determine what those days are in reference to us. Secondly, I technically can't. By Monday night, I mean Sunday night. Okay, you mean Sunday night? That'll depend. Mangler said that he can't do some Sundays when he's with his dad, so maybe we can do those Sundays. But he doesn't.
I'd rather not do those Sundays, which would not be this Sunday, but the next Sunday.
So we can switch the Ragnarok stream
So,
over to a Sunday
Sunday 2 weeks
every
from
now and again. Unless I can just because the problem is that Devil's work schedule is the problem. Is we used to have a fine schedule every Tuesday, but then Devil's boss was like, "Hey, you get a raise. Also, you get fucked in your scheduling too."
Yep.
So unfortunately, it's
Get a raise. What's the
catch?
What's the trade-off? Fun.
So that's why we do it on Mondays now.
That might be my best piece yet today.
Man, Sentry looks so happy. Devil, kill his family.
That comes later.
Oh shit! I'm being attacked.
Whoever wrote this certainly had
Oh.
an eye for the
What would a Monarch Jinzo combo deck be good? I want to be honest, I don't think you'd be comboing with Jinzo. You'd basically be telling your opponent, hey, you don't get to activate 1/3 of the effects of the game. Which, to be fair, that's not bad. Especially not... Well, actually, Jinzo...
Jinzo's a one-cost monster, so
Hold
you
up,
can use
can
the Monarch.
you search Jinzo?
Oh.
Wait, can you search Jinzo with, what's it called? Return of the Monarchs?
He has 2400 attack. I don't know if he meets the defense requirement.
The water flow's blocked.
Are you gonna look it up?
It's the defense time.
Okay, Mangler, you cut out there. Are you saying his defense?
Find
Oh,
out.
I'll say it's time to find out. I think Jinzo's defense is less than 1,000, right?
Hang on. Where's Jinzo? Jinzo! Jinzo. What's your defense? What's your defense? What's your defense, you worthless fuck? Wait a minute. Wait. Doesn't your attack have to be 2400 or more, or 1000 or less?
Jinzo's attack is 2400.
No. So it has to be 2400 or more attack and 1000 or less defense, yes?
Yeah, I think so. So I think Jinzo meets the requirements.
No, his defense is 1500.
Check the card. Check the card again, then.
Well, actually, hang on a minute.
Because if you know his plan,
I don't know his plan. That's why we're...
Brothers, with Fimbulwinter underway and Ragnarok around the corner, Odin will be desperate. Whatever he's planning to do surely won't be to the benefit of anyone but him.
Because I think there is...
Angela, you sound like a
I
speaking
was gonna say, if I had the
Yeah,
ability
this is Mangler's lagging
to go,
bad.
it's not... I think they're...
Yeah, there is a connection issue.
God's fucking...
That's the worst he's lagged. Devil's playing Ragnarok, and I'm casually spending some time with Newhin. That sounds wrong.
Sounds like a Discord.
It's probably a Discord issue.
Thank God I bought Monarchs back when it was cheap and hit on the ban list. Yeah, it's 2400 attack and 1000 defense. It's specifically
Shit.
designed for Monarch. You cannot search Jinzo with it. However,
Your heart just breaks. I can feel it.
However, if you were to have Jinzo or to draw a shitload of cards, because you know you're playing Monarchs, and you were to, hypothetically speaking, of course, summon your Prime Monarch, because you always send it from the deck to the graveyard as a trap card that activates in the graveyard, where Jinzo can't negate its effect, and you tribute summon it for Jinzo, you would be able to put someone under Domain and Jinzo at the same time, which means no extra deck summoning, no trap cards, and yeah.
So
That would be
So what you're calling it is a meta killer.
No,
It is.
traps
It is.
aren't that common.
Yeah. You don't get to tell me not to play my deck. I tell you not to play your deck.
Well,
Deck.
no. Do
There you
traps
go.
even work? Like traps aren't even that common anymore, are they? I mean, I guess you beat infinite impermanence, but how many other traps are you really worried about?
Evenly matched, impermanence. Red Reboot is banned, so I guess that's not a problem.
Where's the real trap card that should be
Like,
unbanned? Ultimate Offering.
What about would it stop Solomon's judgment?
Yes, it would. Oh, that's right. It stops assault. Jinzo stops assaults.
If
Not
Well,
impermanence.
no, I think we discussed
No,
this, but Solemn Judgment does beat him
No,
first.
no. It beats his summon, but if Jinzo's on the field, it beats Solemn.
Oh yeah, no. If he's on the field, Solemn is done. Like, Solemn Judgment is pretty common as like a side card,
Man, no one plays trap tricks.
so you could unironically see that.
How did Atreus get across? He harnessed.
No one plays trap tricks when you're playing Jinzo.
He just fucking does because he's boy.
Look, could Trish create her own nightmare if she wanted to? Yeah. Trish. So Trish has all of Mundus's memories.
Now, hang on a minute.
She has Mundus's soul within her own soul.
I disagree. Mundus needed a new power. The pair. So unless she has a pair,
we literally just gotta disregard that the entire Trish chapter is just her reliving Mundus's memories.
well, does she have a pair to create nightmare? No, then she can fuck right out of here with that basic bitch shit.
No, get the fuck
You saw
out
that
of here.
pair Mundus use?
He literally creates basic.
Well, I didn't see him create nightmare. I saw a pair create nightmare.
Okay, alright. So I'm just gonna take a leap of faith here and guess that he created the pair using what's it called? His demonic desires. Because what he says is, and I quote, "I desire a more powerful demon."
Source, please.
And then throws it into the little jelly.
Fuck!
You've seen the panel!
Fuck, we're screwed!
You've seen the panel, you know what I'm talking about. So I just thought of an awesome deck? No, you just thought of a deck that was already awesome and just put a more awesome card in. But yeah, technically that does work. Azar, just so you know, like, any one tribute monster that's like,
A floodgate.
you know, like 2400-ish attack. Well, floodgates technically. Any one tribute monster that has a floodgate, so like Vanity's Fiend, Majesty's Fiend, Jinzo. Spell Canceller not so much, but like Jinzo, Vanity's Fiend, Majesty Fiend, they all work really well in Monarchs. Because Monarch does not need its trap cards, it does not need Erupt, it does not need... Well, it does
Good
use
point, Ewan.
the Prime Monarch, but it only uses the Prime Monarch in Grave.
That was a great play, Ewan. Good shit, good shit.
So you can summon...
No,
Sorry.
no, go ahead and continue. He knows he's not priority here.
So, like, you could summon... Azar, you could send the Prime Monarch from your hand to the grave with, what's it called? Pantheism. You could send it from the deck to the grave with Aether or Erebus, or pretty much anything, and then you can use its effect in the graveyard, and you can use its effect in the graveyard and summon it, and it won't be negated by Jinzo, even if Jinzo's on the field. Because Jinzo negates the effects of trap cards and prevents any trap cards from being activated on the field, but he doesn't stop graveyard effects.
Can Dino deck counter gods?
Not to mention the Prime Monarch. Probably, yeah.
Well, hang on.
Everything
Do I get my Mangler top decks, or do I just mean regular gods? If I get my Mangler top...
Do we get to open our Blue Eyes Chaos Max hands, but in God cards?
Listen, can I open Obelisk's 2 support cards and Obelisk in my hand? Because if so, then I beat...
Can I open Raw? Can I open Raw, Sphere Mode, Fist of Fate, Soul Crossing, and Obelisk, and like Metal Reflect Slime all in one hand?
Listen.
literally the perfect
If
tank.
I can start with my fucking, the Ruin Breaking God, I win. Along with the Fist of Fate. Easy win, easy clap. Never been easier.
That's what it was, not the... It wasn't the, I was thinking of Soul Crossing, it's Room Breaking God, yes. So, yeah, you could run the Prime Monarch. You could run the Prime Monarch. The only thing that you couldn't run is Escalation and, the Monarch's Erupt, but... I mean, if you're using the Monarch's Erupt, then, like, are you really playing Monarchs? I mean, I guess you could. Wouldn't be a bad idea, but it would turn the game into, like, a stall game. Escalation, though, does give you, like, combo plays on your opponent's turn. It makes Monarchs very combo heavy. Just, in general, I would not say it's like a combo deck.
Nah, Zim, your deck building skills suck!
Not to mention, if you play Jinzo, you wouldn't be locked out of doing any of your plays either. Because you'd only be using trap cards in the graveyard. And you'd really only be running Prime. So your opponent wouldn't get to use trap cards, so you'd cover the Eldritch matchup, the Paleo matchup, think like Cheerlements? The Cheerlements?
My deck building skills are top tier.
Where's...
I just choose to run my decks pure.
No, his top decks are top
My
tier.
top decks are perfectly legitimate. I based them off the Yu-Gi-Oh anime.
To be fair, a significant chunk of those are actually legitimate. They just happen way too fucking often.
Mangler can confirm that my top decks are legitimate. After all, he witnessed them firsthand. Spear Mode, Obelisk.
What in the fucking hell is happening?
He's playing Elden Ring.
What is happening here? Being attacked by some random Bloodstalks. I'm so confused.
They want to run your hands.
Now, Zane, your deck building still sucks? Oh.
I literally...
It's
I
unfortunate.
mean, Mangler, you gonna say that after I destroyed your fucking Chaos?
What? How does that make your deck building skills? It just makes your opening hands good.
That's because I built the deck to facilitate them.
How about you build a deck that can go to like turn 3?
Sure, let me.
And not because I don't like not because like I break or anything.
How many threatening roars can I put into the deck?
Put all the threatening roars you want, just don't rely on them.
How many solemns?
Hey, if you're playing something like there we go. If you're playing something like, you know, a burn deck or something and using Threatening Roar, sure. If you're playing like Exodia and you're using it, sure. But if you're playing God cards and you run Threatening
very
Roar,
correctly.
that's just fucking
Oh, actually, that
sad.
reminds me. You, Chaos Horde. They're actually making a new Blacklist Soldier card.
Yes, and I think now is the time when I use this technique called building the Chaos Ritual deck, where I summon all manner of inappropriate Chaos monsters. Because now they have given me enough Chaos Ritual monsters to be able to consistently use Chaos Form with all of its searchers. Which means I'll be able to run Magician's Rod and search Chaos Form from the deck.
Have you seen what the new one does or no?
Yes, it is.
It's a searcher.
From what I remember, it was very spicy.
It is a searcher. You just, I think you shuffle it back into the deck to search one fucking ritual spell.
Yes, it's very, it'd be very good. What is with you guys and giving me a volcanic stone? I don't need this.
I believe you read correctly that you're still back in
Anyway,
the game.
it'll be a
Yeah,
great.
because I don't run your fucking Ash Blossoms and shit. Sorry I let my opponent play the fucking game. My bad.
Is a very unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't want to hear this from you!
The
no,
real people
fuck,
that run the
fuck
system,
Devil!
not negation.
Fuck that guy! That motherfucker's like, yeah, I don't run Ash Blossom, I'm totally chill. Let me just synchro the entire game's
Good.
deck onto the field.
Let me spend 20 minutes special summon.
Actually, with my new God card support, I could potentially be his entire synchro board because the cards can't be reacted to. So I win by not letting him play the game. But in a more fun way.
I was gonna say, Devil, how's that dimension shifter feel?
How's the what? I haven't gone up against
I
that.
said, how's that dimension? Well, I'm not saying like I would activate because I don't run dimension shifter in my deck because I actually know how to play Grim Macro, but some fucking scumbags out there are like, yeah, this is a good card. So they activate it and then it's like, oh, for 2 turns there is no graveyard. There is only the banished.
Devil, why are you just going around in circles? Man, that's a real big question about life, Red Dust, because, isn't life just going around in one big circle? Like, man, that's a real deep question. Aren't we all?
Isn't that just another boss that I killed? What the hell?
What? Are you saying Elden Ring recycles its
that's-
entire enemies? No, that'd be silly.
I talk about it?
No. I'm just, very excited for it to win Game of the Year. Because both Game of the Years recycled thousands of assets. But I'm just fine with that. I'm just fine. I'm okay. I don't mind it.
I mean, I would consider it more egregious in God of War's case because the series doesn't have, like, a habit of, like, recycling all the time within its own games. That was mainly something that was established within 4. Because even when they brought enemies back from previous games, they at least gave them something.
Yeah, so I'm not mad. I'm not mad that both these games are the fucking video game equivalent of the recycle bin. Game of the Year.
Sounds pretty angry.
Game of the Year. No. Fuck no. Bro, I'm so excited for Elden Ring to win Best Narrative too. Fucking ecstatic.
Who are you kidding? It's probably going to be Ragnarok that wins
Dude,
that.
if Elden Ring wins that, I'll cry both out of fucking laughing and just sheer, like, pain. You will watch a grown fucking YouTuber cry on
dragon.
stream.
Oh yeah, that's so
I'm about to be a girl.
I can find that thing there to wait for an apology video.
Okay, but legitimate tears, not your fake-ass apology video. Honestly, the best apology videos.
Clearly, I was wrong.
I'm sorry, I was wrong. I should not have thrown that puppy into a sack and thrown it into the river. I apologize.
Oh my
Same, that's
god.
Cole and Kyle.
It is time to bleed this enemy and then poison them.
Oh,
Wait, can you bleed dragons?
I believe so. I don't think dragons are immune to bleed.
They're not.
Definitely not
Also,
God of War.
Get blood, child.
Well, yeah. Will
Which
you
is
add
awesome.
Emancipation cards to your Blue Eyes Chaos Mac deck? Devil or Mangler already did. And it gave me the perfect tribute needed to summon my Egyptian God card!
Wait, what do you mean add Emancipator cards? Add Emancipator cards are Earth monsters, if I'm not
No,
mistaken.
Emancipation. He means the books.
Incantations?
He says impancantations.
Yes. They're weird to pronounce. I think they're called... No, actually, that's their localized name. Fuck, I can't remember what they're called.
The book, the carrot, and the pen.
The only one you care about is the fucking... the candle and the other one.
How many Egyptian gods are there? In the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, there are only 3. Because the 4th one's banned.
No, so there's there's 3 Egyptian gods and there's a creator god.
That counts as an Egyptian god. You have to merge the other 3 Egyptian gods to get there. Seriously?
No, it's above the Egyptian god.
Wouldn't it?
It's
Wouldn't
a
it be
creator god.
Exodia is not a god.
No, I'm talking about
Zork is not a god either. He's
No.
a bitch.
Not even close.
I mean, technically, he would be more.
Oh, I poisoned that dragon.
He'd be more akin to the devil. To the devil in this case. Neil, get out of here! Get out of here!
There's also 3 like false gods with the wicked
I don't.
gods.
They are not false gods.
Which I
that
bel-
is not true. They are not false gods. They actually do fall under the same deity rules, and the wicked avatar, I believe.
No,
is-
no. I say false gods because they're not like the Egyptian gods, but they fall into the divine hierarchy.
You want who doesn't fall into the divine hierarchy?
Like
The real fake gods. Those pussies known as the sacred peace.
you want to walk that fucking
You
back?
wanna go, bro? You
I would, but you know my program keeps shutting down.
listen, man. I'm just saying that if I top deck Obelisk with all 4 of his support cards, you don't stand a chance in hell.
Dude, I need literally 2 cards in my hand to start my combo. If you give me a top deck of 5 cards of my choice, you don't have a game.
You think that's impressive? I play Egyptian gods. I never have a game. I only have turn 1, and if I lose, I lose.
when mom and dad fight in front of the kids.
Hey, I know what that feels like as someone who plays Chaos Max. I also know what that feels like when, you know, as Kaiba does in the anime, where you summon 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, except I summon 3 Blue Eyes Chaos Max
And then
Dragons,
attribute them for Raw.
which are some of the hardest monsters in the game to fucking summon, and I
Wait,
summon 3 of them in one turn.
Hardest to summon? What the fuck are you talking about? That shit's easy as pie.
Chaos
Yeah,
Max?
he literally has 3 different fucking ritual spells.
He has 1. Advanced Ritual Art doesn't belong to him. It's a
What
generic
about the
one.
chaos mode or whatever? The one for the entire archetype.
Chaos Form? Yeah, no, that's it.
No, not chaos form. The other one for Black Luster Soldier. Because the problem is,
Do you mean the one gives a fuck about?
I mean, is that not for him?
I don't even think that one
It
works.
does. Because he's a chaos monster.
Hang on a sec. Now I gotta kill this stupid blood doping loser.
Lance Armstrong?
I was... No. Armstrong is in another castle.
Yeah.
Neo, back up.
Also,
Don't you just hate
Is
it
the-
when you're like, hey, I'm killing this dragon, I've poisoned him, and then, you know, his fanboy blood doping losers decide to help him? As they
you do
do.
know where dragons are, right?
I don't know where what?
Are you sure you're not talking about the two of the frauds?
The Church of the Dragons.
I'm not at the Church of the
Actually,
Dragons.
didn't Lance Armstrong get kicked out of the actual fucking tours
No.
period?
He did, but he's been doing it for years.
Good sir, I am ready to end your life.
So why not use all 3 wicked gods, Egyptian gods in one deck? It's possible, but it's very unoptimized.
Bricks.
No. All of them brick. The biggest problem is that the god card support doesn't work for wicked gods. Only one of them does, and I don't even run it anymore because it's too slow.
Divine Evolution is beautiful thing.
It is, but
Now, if only they got 10 support cards like that.
God, Divine Evolution was my favorite god card support they printed of the 10s. Like, I'll take that one over Soul Crossing. But the problem is that, like, if you run out, it's a dead card in hand most of the time.
That sounds like you don't have enough draw power.
I run God cards. Actually, I should get that one pod in there. I think it's limited to 2, right? I fucking have it in my fucking... I have 3 copies. I know I can put it in my fucking God card deck.
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with the spell?
The real question is, what's wrong with creation itself?
I hate this enemy so much.
A statue.
Not just any statue. That stony visage hung over the entrance to the world built by Durin the Generous. I believe that's all of the rebel artifacts.
I think the only way to do this is to summon the wolves. Also, I finally figured out how to use spirits.
Alright.
They're quite nice.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm kind of enjoying it. I kind of like that you can summon undead enemies that don't die permanently.
They do if they get hit while they're respawning.
No, I don't believe
Yeah, you're talking
so.
about the undead skeletons, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
if they're hit while respawning, they will die. That is how undead works in Elden Ring. If they're not killed by a holy weapon, they can be killed permanently if they're hit during revival.
That's not true. I've definitely hit enemies during revival, and they do not keep, like, they just keep coming back unless I hit them with a holy weapon specifically.
They might have changed that then, because when I played it on release, good night, Layers Red Dusk. We'll try and see what we can.
Yeah, that definitely is not a thing. You can only kill them with holy weapons.
I'm guessing. I guess that changed. Or are you hitting the white soul that appears, or no? Are you hitting their whites?
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't know why they would change that. I mean, I guess it like.
I would assume because they're intrinsically designed to be undead creatures.
But the point of them not being limited by that was so that way players can have freedoms and ways to deal with them.
Well, it makes the enemies not like fucking fodder in the game, and it technically means now your spirits are also not trash.
Your spirits are still fine regardless. I mean, they still survive most of the time. Alright, Devil's died once. Someone please keep track of the Devil trash counter. Because I'm currently in the middle of a Leagues game and I can't update it. Oh, there we go. Never mind. Good shit, good shit. Oh yeah, Kyle, did you finally buy the whiskey with the money I gave you? He's quiet. I gave this boy. Devil, not again! Devil, stop that right now!
Is he going after another minion?
Yeah, the same one that kicked his ass last time! Devil, stop it!
Well, just because I got all the skins doesn't mean you're off the hook. Get back to the store.
Devil, no, please!
Dude, there's a chest. I need the
No!
loot.
No, you fucking die.
No.
You don't take this son of a bitch! I look over here like, that's weird. Devil died. He's been doing so well. What could have killed him? And I just get the PTSD from the name.
Devil, this game will take you over 24 hours. Just on the normal difficulty.
No!
Get through the
He's
fucking
still
game.
going! He's lost it! Wait, Devil, hang on, man. Devil, why are you on fire? Kratos resists fire, Devil. What are you doing? Devil, stop being on fire. Kratos resists that. Stop being silly.
Who the hell told you he was in the fire?
He was on that one Phoenix and resisted it.
Yeah,
you mean
the
the feathers
flame-
that already insulated from the actual heat of the Phoenix?
Yeah, the flame insulated feathers.
Lies. You down players disgust me. Also, Newman, fuck, before I send you the next fucking commission pictures for the comic, I'm gonna have to have a discussion with you about that. Just remember that. We'll have to start that later.
That. Get that. I swear if there's dragon armor in that, I'm gonna be pissed.
Did you say dragon
Ooh,
armor? Devil, there's not dragon armor in there.
There
No,
is.
there isn't. Devil, it's gonna be.
Yeah, and guess what? You're
There is.
like another 50 hours away from getting it.
Damn.
I was trying to tell us that we could run the Wicked Gods, Egyptians,
Devil.
and Sacred Beast in one deck, but no. Yeah, you can't, because that'd be stupid.
That'd be insane.
That wouldn't even be worth it, because if we're being honest, like, Uriah would be garbage. Oh, like, Raphael's not worth the effort when you have Obelisk. They do the same thing, practically, except Obelisk is unironically better.
There'd be no reason to run Raphael when Obelisk exists.
I mean, granted...
There'd be no reason to run Raw when Hamon exists.
Well...
And there'd be no reason to run Uriah when Slifer exists.
Well, what I was going to say was, you could probably... Well, I mean, if we're going to be honest, you could run Hamon over Obelisk, but Obelisk is better built-in protection.
And then there'd be no reason to run any of those fuckers if you have the Wicked Eraser.
You mean the Wicked Avatar? Because the Wicked Eraser ain't doing shit.
No, the Wicked Eraser, because field nukes be great.
You want to know how to make the Wicked Eraser actually good? Is if it lets you draw cards equal to how many cards it destroyed. Similar to how Slifer spell support works.
It lets you draw cards equal to the amount of things you destroyed.
Including itself.
That'd be kind of broken.
That would just be I mean, well, no. Most cards don't get destroyed nowadays by destruction effects. You're not...
I mean, that could be broken for them, but it wouldn't be broken for...
You're not using your mind's
Most
eye,
of
Mangler.
the
You're
stuff.
not using your fourth dimension eye.
Atreus, another mental exercise.
Yeah, you're currently right, because I am,
By fighting such as tears,
at the moment, trying to shoot a dragon with poison arrows.
leaves a wake of destruction.
It's not working very well.
Is a bunch of bad guys. Why does that matter? You're strong, and you did the right thing.
War
So-
measure the strength of a man. I hope one day you understand.
I've heard... I was watching this one guy's take. Are you familiar with the YouTuber called Synthetic Man?
It looks like this machine is dropping ore into the water trough.
What is this synthetic?
He's a YouTuber who reviews games. But he reviewed Ragnarok, and and he had several hot takes in there. But one of them, I already asked Kyle about it, and we're not asking on stream, but do you think that Kratos was emasculated in this game?
Emasculated?
Yes.
The fuck? I would not say so. I'd say he's more social, but like, you know,
I think so, yeah.
I'd still say he's more social in previous games.
Okay, so you think he was emasculated in Newhin?
In what regard?
Probably lack of agency. Also for the fact that he lets everyone talk shit to him and then, like, says nothing back.
That's gotta be it.
You remember?
Okay,
I
so
would
the
assume
only,
he just
the
doesn't
only
give a
person
fuck.
outside the AZ that talks shit to him is Freya, and he's literally trying to do everything he can to mend that bridge.
And also, he kind of deserved that.
Oh, so when Freya's like, I could have beaten you, Kratos. I would have beaten you in that fight if it wasn't for Atreus.
Unironically,
Bruh.
when you actually go back to the boss fight where you have to fight her, she gets to make that comment because she whoops your ass.
Damn, are you telling me Kratos is nothing but a bitch?
I'm saying that Freya could have gone through quite a majority of the Greek pantheon. Maybe not the top tiers of Olympus, but she would definitely have made it to God of War 3.
You think she would have made the God of War 3?
Also, I was gonna say, in general, the fucking...
Well, Mangler?
He literally concedes, it was wrong of me to make that decision for you.
Well, Mangler?
And let Baldur, kill Baldur.
How do you feel, Mangler, about an in-universe protagonist swap?
No.
No. We're
That's
still not
correct.
done with season 1. Maybe a season 2 in series protagonist swap. Next time.
Dude, holy fuck, this fucking magma dragon!
Alright, Kyle, he's not interested. Kyle, you interested? Now we can have a longer Kyle version instead of just Kratos loses instantly.
This looks familiar. Back in the spiral section of the mine.
Okay, let me see if
I don't know why you guys call it the Kyle version of a protagonist swap.
his
It should be called the
words,
reality
not
swap.
mine.
Mangler just
His words, not mine.
decided to duck under that and avoid all blame and responsibility. What a surprise!
I never referred to anything as the Kyle version. I don't know what you're talking about.
Very convenient. Very convenient.
Did you hear that, brothers?
It was literally something you came up with. What the hell?
Look at him throwing the blame on the me now. Hot damn. That's impressive.
Came from over here.
Shame on you, Mangler. Shame on you.
Mm-hmm.
When is Kratos and DMC4 coming out?
We need 2 protect slots for that. Nero's side and Dante's side.
Newhin, you're going...
No.
Yeah, you get to swap it now. You get to have Atreus go through Nero's campaign.
Sparta, you're such a bias.
No.
They
Wow.
must be trying to keep
Wow.
A door like that.
Well, actually, would it make a difference? Doesn't Dante fight most of Nero's enemies anyways, except for, like, Credo?
No, we're switching. The protagonist swap is switching him with Dante's place, not Nero's.
Wait.
So Nero will still be in the game. It'll just be, you know.
Damn. You're using my Kale.
I mean, if you really want me to put Atreus in there,
No.
I can as a bonus round.
No.
But
No, we're doing only God of War 3 Kratos, Mangler.
Burial runs towards him. Scaltha! Why isn't it doing anything? Why am I dead?
Nista.
Swap Blades of Chaos with Yamato. If we give Kratos Yamato... Actually, that's even assuming he'd make it that far.
If we give Kratos Yamato, he would just assume it's a normal katana.
Well, no, I'm trying to think now, would Kratos even make it that far? Well, I mean, I guess we'll find out in the protagonist swap,
Well, technically, he doesn't have to run through Nero's campaign.
No, but he does have to run through Nero twice.
Yes.
Oh. He also has to run through. He also has to run through Ascension Ceremony Agnes before he gets to the Yamato.
I also forgot, technically, since he doesn't... Well, he does get a package, he doesn't get Dante's physiology, so he doesn't get stronger after the first fight with Nero. So he's the same level of strength at the beginning that he's going to be near the end.
Well, hang on.
And
hang
Nero
on,
is able to
hang
gauge
on.
how strong
Blade,
Dante is.
Blade of Olympus absorbs demonic power. Let's go. Let's go. You know what?
I mean, if you want to commit suicide, there are easier
You know
ways.
what? Maybe I'll have Newhin do a thumbnail for it, and I'll have Kratos with the Blade of Olympus fighting Nero's Yamato. Maybe I'll be funny about it.
You know what's funny? Whenever I ever debate anyone on God of War and they try and use the Blade of Olympus against Devil May Cry characters, as soon as I tell them how demonic energy works, they stop trying to use the Blade of Olympus.
Well, but first, Newhin, we'll
You know
we'll
what
finish
you should have
conflict,
told
ideally.
them is that, yeah, by the way, Blade of Olympus stuff doesn't even work on Devil May Cry characters because the demon world passively absorbs
Hey,
all forms of matter and
so
energy,
can I just ask
and the demons can walk around in that shit without feeling
how the
anything.
Even if you're a good Cypher, good luck becoming one of us.
How the fuck is it that
whatever.
fucking they thought this was like Tyr was okay if he literally is trapped in the wooden door and he doesn't break himself out? At least the real Tyr is trapped like fucking in a fucking iron cage.
It's actually still a wooden door.
I hate you. No, Zim, Nero has the blades in him instead of Yamato. Then Kratos tries to get them back. No, that wouldn't be. He doesn't get the blades because he doesn't get Rebellion.
I don't think the bleed worked.
Try harder.
Poison did, but it man,
So the
that
joy
position
is
was
so
not optimal.
when Nero throws the Blades of Chaos into his chest, he's just standing there, just like, breathe, Kratos, breathe.
I'm still gonna find it funny that he's gonna know who like Lady and Trish are.
He's all like, "Oh, you two again."
Because in this
Oh, it's us. It's this bald asshole who can't even hold his own weight.
because we're gonna have to explain how he gets a job offer to show up on Fortuna.
Lady had no money and she needed a distraction.
No, he just showed up. He's emaciated, just hungry, and they give it to him out of pity.
No. Yeah, we brought him right back. Stay away from me.
It's like, listen, we know you need something, so here you go. It's like, oh, this will serve me well. It's like, okay. So I guess him showing up in Fortuna is showing up in Fortuna and killing the Pope isn't really any different, except this time it's rated R.
He should just be thankful he didn't have to go through the anime.
You're not wrong.
Dude, that would be very funny. Imagine he shows up to see the Pope and he's like, "Your days are numbered, old man." So instead of killing him with
I don't
one
know
good
who you are,
bullet, he
but
proceeds-
put clothes on, you blasphemer.
you just see a giant circle button above Santa's head. Oh,
Kratos' track record. If Sanctus decides to be merciful and be nice to him, he might actually just like house him and make him part of the order.
you'd be like, "Why were you sent here, child?"
It's like, please, I need food.
I was sitting here to kill
I
you."
need water.
The gods of Olympus have abandoned me. You know he will never abandon you. Fire, open your heart to him.
He's like, "He is our god," and then as soon as he mentions the word god, he's just like, "I'll have no gods teaching me anything," and just stabs.
And then Sanction's just like, "Alright, whatever then." Literally.
Alright, that's enough of that. Kill him.
He stabs Sanctus, and all he just hears before Sanctus kills over, the Savior is coming.
Kratos is like, "Your Holiness." Oh, that's gonna be so goofy. Nero's gonna have to pull some extra weight in this adventure.
Nonsense.
Kratos, move out of the way! You're just dead weight!
Well, I'm just thinking to myself, like, if he doesn't have a familiar relationship to him, and he also doesn't have the ability to, like, see, detect, or determine the effects of souls, then he's not going to be able to determine, well, actually, he would have no reason to care about Nero, because he's not related to him. So, yeah, if Nero kills him, there's no problem, and if he kills Nero, there's no problem either. So, yeah. That's interesting.
The suit here is trash. Holy shit. I literally only died because I was hoping he'd come in, but no. That's the last time I fucking get fucking waiting for this fucker. Holy shit.
Well, Zim, you'll finally be able to argue that hand-to-hand combat Kratos that you're so fond of. Because he'll have to square up to Nero in the first mission.
Yes.
Get ready to argue that instinctive reaction, Kratos, am I right?
Let's find your son.
Sounds good to me.
I said, am I right?
You are right, Mangler. At long last, Kratos' grappling skills will finally have a chance to shine. Actually, so then, fucking, for the Heimdall fucking fight, do you guys just argue that, like, Kratos was faster in Heimdall in general, or do you guys argue that, like, he adapted to Heimdall?
No. So what happens in the Heimdall fight is that the only time you can ever hit him is when you disorientate him with the spear.
Yeah, but, like, during...
So you can just... No, you can just argue. He places Dropnirs around the arena and corners Heimdall into going near one, then explodes it.
Yeah, that's literally how the spear operates.
I'm talking about the fucking...
You can shoot it near his position, he dodges it, and then you detonate it on the ground near his feet.
When he loses his arm, he's so pissed off because Kratos showed him pity and he's so angry that he doesn't care about dodging anymore.
No, I'm talking about when, like, you get the little animation. Like you know how, like, you go in for the fucking little fucking, like, fisticuffs with Heimdall?
Yes, and you know what happens before that?
No.
You stun him with Dropnir.
Lies.
You know, they had actually saw some of that interview with the directors, or with the director Eric Williams, and what he said was that he was asking people what they thought of Dropnir, and they thought it was it was an interesting weapon, a little difficult to get used to. Felt weird next to the Blade of Chaos, but they eventually got around to it. And they're just like, well. And they asked them if they had like any weapons or things that they tinkered with, any like concepts that they thought might have made it into the game, and obviously they're like, well, Mjolnir was on the table, but we didn't want it to be like too easy. We actually had this idea, and this is his exact words, or more or less paraphrasing, that Dropnir, when it was thrown at people, when it would explode, that it would send out rings of like proximity based like mines that were on the ground, and they could double as pickable
Mangler,
like pickable
go into
as objects that you could pick up off
go
the
into
ground,
YouTube.
and you could like
Mangler,
toss
go
them.
into the
That sounds way more fun than the Dropnir
Okay,
we got.
Mangler, hang on. Go into the fucking YouTube chat and
see,
ban the
like,
bot.
hang on, let me go
I'll
there.
say I can't do it right now. I'm in Oval League's game.
I got it.
There's no bot like a porn bot.
How do I ban it? Just report?
No, it should say hide user.
Oh,
Just hide user on the channel.
there we go. Anyway, so he said like we had an idea for this, so that the shrapnel off of the drops essentially would create like proximity bombs and whatnot, and the shards of it would be like pickable, not consumables, just like basically objects that you could pick up to throw at enemies near areas, and they would cause additional explosions.
That sounds awesome.
But we didn't include that. We didn't include that in the game because that would be too much for the player.
Too much for the player? Well, I mean, this is the game that literally tells you the puzzle immediately after fucking, like, having trouble.
Yeah, no, seriously, like, his actual logic, like, a completely unique weapon that had a unique function that... Keep in mind, I don't think there's a hack and slash that has an explodable delayed... Like, very few hack and slashes have explosion delayed, like... equipment, even in the DMC games, like that's a pretty rare thing. But they don't have an delayed explosion mechanic that leaves shrapnel on the ground.
Are you telling me that they could have had an actual fun Lucifer?
Lucifer
They could have
is
had
fun.
an actual. No. Lucifer is a cool idea, poorly executed.
Yeah, but it's a shit weapon.
Well, Ragnarok.
In lore, it's pretty good. But in gameplay, it's shit.
In lore, it's what it should be. I'm just saying, like, they could have made something that's so unique that even, like, Bayonetta, DMC, Darksiders, none of those games have anything that even remotely touches a controlled delay explosive weapon that could be used to your degree, in addition to doubling as a spear. As just like a secondary function. They could have even added additional passive effects or things in the upgrade tree that would have made it more interesting. And they chose to completely toss that out because that was too much for the player.
Well, I mean,
I'm like, dude, they gutted your mobility.
well,
Like, what do you mean it's too much for the player? What are you doing that's too much?
you know, a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what you're
Like
doing
walking
that's
around.
is that you're actually controlling Kratos and not watching the movie.
That's already too much for them. My bad.
Well, I mean, everyone loves it, so clearly they're doing something right.
I wish Elon would buy YouTube and get rid of the bots. I don't want YouTube to go bankrupt too.
Twitter's not going bankrupt. It's just going through some structural remanagement.
You know, just going through $15 billion loss. You know, just loss of what was it? 80% of its engineers.
Well, if
50% of its workforce.
If Twitter dies and Twitter goes down, does that mean every Twitter statement becomes unverifiable?
You're evil, you know that?
Technically.
Mars.
Are you gonna be? Oh my god! Are you gonna be that? Are you gonna be that guy that's like, look, we'll lose Kamiya's statements, but I'm willing to lose one or two statements to lose everything. I know. I'm just saying, like,
everything.
Listen, you guys lose a lot more in this than we do. Scourge Earth policy works for me!
no, I love how I mentioned, as soon as I mentioned Twitter going down, Kyle's like, interesting. Go on. While I stroke my non-existent beard.
No, he has a shitty beard.
I
don't know
have
if
an
it's a
actual
beard.
beard. You have a shit beard.
No, no, you don't.
I actually do.
Newman, for fuck's sake, get this fucker out of my fucking lane!
I have a 5 o'clock shadow that doesn't leave me alone.
That sucks.
This man looks like he needs to die. I don't know how he noticed me. What the fuck? That was confusing.
Ugh.
Holy shit, man. And then we have to pay the check mark again? Oh, that's right, you have to pay $8 for the check mark. No, but so, the funniest thing is...
I forgot about that
So
part.
the funniest thing about the check mark situation is that Elon basically, apparently, there's now different check marks for different types of people.
Why didn't he just color them?
I think he is going to color them different colors. I think it's going to be like yellow check marks for buildings, red check marks for politicians, blue check marks for important people. Actually, I think blue's official. I think gray's for celebrities.
Dude, all he had to do was make a labeling system and color it.
Well, I don't know what he's doing
And
specifically.
that probably would have solved 100 more issues
No.
than the ones that they currently have. I found it funny that he was talking about I think this is a tweet he made about how so every time he goes on Twitter he makes some dumb fuck statement about how Twitter is supposed to be run by its current software, and then he ends up getting fact checked by Twitter by Twitter's own bots because he keeps making statements that are incorrect with like the programming or the history of the platform. He's just like, oh, Twitter is being run on, I think it's like RCP or whatever. And then like the Twitter bot will come in and will say like, actually, here's what Twitter is being, fun fact, Twitter is actually being run by this. And then it will link like 8 tweets of like Twitter engineers that work on the program that will explain why he's wrong.
The Twitter bot's gonna be deleted first.
And then he'll end up firing them.
Ooh, my veggies are ready.
Your what already?
My veggies.
Oh, is that what that alarm was?
I guess he has.
Tell me my veggies.
Yeah, he has an oven clock.
No, I use my phone.
I was gonna say that sounded like more like a phone alarm, to be honest. Sir, you look like you're about to die. Oh no.
The studio's kind of fucking stupid. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Wait, so do they just not have like a different category for like, you know, like sorceries or faiths for like the special spells that use faith and sorcery? Because like they have some spells.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong; these are kind of
Stay
cool.
alive.
Oh, actually.
Go on.
Oh yeah, Zim didn't seem to understand this one, but I'll see if you think there's anything good from this. I found a statement for the travelers that's that Odin made them go across the 9 realms and beyond.
Forgive me. I am grateful for my freedom.
How do you want to
Whatever
take
could
that?
that mean?
Worse yet, lead you to it.
Poor Kyle. He had this whole fucking like brainchild in his head, and no one just understands him.
All right, Kyle. I'll do you one better. I'm ready to wank that to immeasurable speed.
Bro, I'll do you one
I'll
better.
make Zim proud.
No, I'll do you one better. Beyond the 9 realms. The 9 realms are infinitely transcending. Look at the tree. Universal. The travelers are universal.
Shit. Got him.
Doesn't matter.
Wait, are
Damn.
those floating jelly?
That's the tier we need.
Those look kind of neat. They look dangerous, though.
Is Daryl still fighting the same mini boss, or is he actually moved on to the
So he's moved on to the story.
Oh, are they turning red? Oh boy, that does not look very safe.
Holy shit. Yeah, I've been going through the story.
I'm sorry, Devil. You sound so dead on the inside.
They have projectile poison. Like precise projectile poison. Those fuckers are like artillery guns floating in the air.
But you skipped over how we fought and freed the Valkyrie.
They're actually kind of sweet, to be honest.
Now they called me Loki.
Sorry, I'm just mesmerized by how effective these jellyfish are at poisoning people. Why my poison is that good?
Let's be real. Odin literally, Kratos just should have accepted peace. Let's all call a spade a spade.
I think we're getting out of here not a moment.
He should have accepted the peace deal.
Whoa. What are
No.
Yeah, bro. He has.
No, you know what? I look at the game in hindsight, and there's so many decisions in that game that didn't need to go down that
Well,
way.
they're drawing inspiration from the best God of War game, God of War 3.
Ugh.
down on either player too?
Can 1,000-Year Blood War Arc Eisen beat God of War Great Gods? Yeah.
Lies. He's just wanking Eisen.
Yeah, he would literally
I'll do
he
one
would
better.
literally walk in there and they would all be put under Kyoga Suigetsu just by looking at him.
I'll do you one better. Ukiora could use one of his techniques to erase the entirety of Greece.
Bad.
Yeah, so so here's kind of the fucked up part about Bleach, like even if you don't use like technically no matter what meta you use, whether you argue like the Bleach characters are planetary or you argue they're like Uni Plus, you can argue the God of War characters are either uni or country. In either scenario, they outscale both of them massively to like an unfathomable degree. But the more fucked up part is that technically, due to how the scaling in Bleach works, due to Yuha basically at the end of the series being able to destroy the Garganta and essentially the entire space-time barrier that separates all of the realms in what's it called? Bleach, and basically destroying everything in the cosmology, he confirms that the Ichigo that's about to threaten him is Ichigo at the level of power that he was when he fought Aizen, which means anyone that downscales from that Ichigo even hundreds to thousands of times, which is where most of the Espada are just lower in his tier. That just means Ukiura is just marginally weaker than that Ichigo.
Oh, that reminds me, yeah, and Grimjow scales to
No,
him.
you know what's funny? Zeus is just sitting on top of Mount Olympus in the distance. All he hears is...
Oh, look! It's an interesting light. Is Apollo treating us with another one of his light shows again?
So let me ask you this one, Mangler. Yami versus Kratos.
Oh, God. That would be the battle of who has actual rage power. Be like, my resurrection... Well... Yeah, no. That would just be the battle of who has actual rage power. I mean, granted, you would argue probably, like, AP-wise, like, Yami's stronger, but, like, you gotta do certain versions of Kratos. If you argue that...
I don't know, you could just keep using a bowler and just keep smacking him that way like you tried to do the
Thank
Kiske.
you for distracting him.
I mean, either that or he could just use his Resurrection and then use a Bala after that. Because his Balas are 20 times faster than what he ever currently is, and the problem is that his Resurrection is the only one that allows him to transform just based off of, like, his aspect of death, which is rage. The angrier he gets, the stronger he gets.
Wait, wouldn't the God of War characters be faster than them in speed?
So, like...
Technically, yes. Well, Kyle, he will still have infinite speed, even if the life he loses faster than him.
So, question, can you argue that Composite Dante would have the Demi Fiend or any SMT demons in the Book of Demons?
No, because you have to kill the demon.
I don't think it's how Composite... Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that's how Composite Dante would work, because you'd have to prove a Composite Dante would have the Book of Demons when he's going through SMT. A Composite Dante just simply means you basically had a character screen and you created Dante with all the powers and abilities and knowledge of, like, his current strong forms, but, like, that doesn't prove he, went to SMT with the Book of Demons. If he did, then yes.
Bleach Kara says you can use Grammy Crane in a universe to scale Bleach tiers higher. I mean, I guess you could try that.
I mean, I would argue you just use the statements that U-Haul has in regards to... Because here's the thing, like, U-Haul just confirms that the end of the Arrancar arc at its highest scaling scales to the end of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc at its highest scaling. That means the Sternritters, like, some people have unironically argued the Sternritters vastly outscaled the Espada, and it's like, that's not necessarily true. It's just, the problem is that the Espada, like, if you actually look at the top tiers of the Espada, Toshido and Soifone did not sweep their fights. That is not what happened if you saw those fights. Only Kyoraku did that, but Kyoraku outscales most of the captains. So, like, realistically...
To be fair, he has help from Ukitake.
Wait, Kyoraku?
Yeah. He had help during the Stark fight.
Oh, Ukitake. I thought...
Good.
And he basically beat Stark off of blindsiding him.
Good shit, Newman, good shit.
I interpreted Ukitake as Kisuke for some reason. That's weird. Wouldn't the God of War characters be faster than the speed? If you're doing the country level one, no.
Alright, mate.
If you're
Last
doing the higher one, yes, but most Bleach characters it wouldn't matter because they wouldn't have the AP to put them down.
Even if you
And the
do
problem with God
universal
of War
one,
is
even if you do the universal one, it's very iffy where credits may or may not scale. I think there are actual light blasts in the Greek saga, but I'm not sure how high.
yeah, no. There are. You can probably get into like FTL plus with like some multipliers.
Guys.
So the problem is that like
Kratos for sure has infinite speed. He scales to the light of Helios.
oh yes, that thing that would be a fair example to use if people didn't disingenuously argue that Hermes could dodge it when you can hit him in the game.
Yeah,
with
but he
it.
can still dodge some of the fucking blast. So it's like, okay, so he's just not 1-to-1.
Okay, so he's just the slowest infinite speed character in history.
But he's satisfied.
He can dodge light, but he can't dodge a trebuchet.
Man, you want to fucking fight, bro?
Actually, if I remember correctly, doesn't Helios himself get hit by a ballista?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. But bad Kyle, very bad Kyle.
Listen, if we want to talk anti-feats, we'll be here all day.
Okay, now hear me out. One more for the road. The random civilians that outrun Kratos in Athens.
I'm sorry, that was a little. Wait. Which ones? Because they're in every game.
Does anyone know? Well, no, I mean just like in general, because they usually always outrun him. Does anyone know how check if a PC can run a game? Hang on.
I think I actually have a website, but I'll have to get my computer a little bit.
I'd like to climb a tree.
Would I care? Where's the fucking... Oh, I have to go in and around the mountain. Of course I have to go in and around the mountain. So, Nello, you'd be correct normally, but it's unfortunately kind of fucked in terms of the scaling. So the problem is that in order to prove the existence of an infinite-sized space in a cosmology like God of Wars, where the creators have confirmed that all the pantheons exist within the respective region of a country, you now have to prove that each of the countries have a dimensional barrier or something that contains the pantheon in there, or some magic or some inverse phenomenon. Not just, they govern their own universes. Like, you'd have to have, like, actual evidence that there is, like, a full, like, totality of a dimension's borders or something equivalent to that within it. Otherwise, if something has an infinite statement, it can basically be disregarded. Because if something was truly infinite in that context with no barrier, it would stretch outside of the pantheon and cover the entirety of the fucking, like, planet that they're on. And everything inside of space and whatnot. Like, so, yeah, that would be the issue.
Well, the other fucked thing is, I know a lot of people on Twitter are trying to find any statement to try and fix what Ragnarok has done, but the problem is, even if they try and correct themselves on Twitter, at what point do we start saying, like, asking these people is just not viable anymore because they're not a reliable source of information if they keep changing their mind on a whim. And second off, even if you trust them, that flies in the face of what the game shows. So at this point, if you really want to break even and see which one is the most consistent view, gather up each of the statements and see which one has, like, more evidence.
Shut the fuck up, you fucking whore!
Are you speaking to me or Neil?
I'm speaking to you! Neil went to sleep, and Neil doesn't give me this bullshit!
What's wrong with saying that if you want to sell this once and for all, let's get all of the evidence together, and let's tally it like a democratic vote.
Yes, it'll be very nice if you're, if you were coming from a place of legitimacy, not just, I want Kratos to be continent.
You got sick of having house guests that bad?
Continent level. Fuck, someone's being a bit generous today.
Well, I hope you like your gold.
Should we swing by
But anyway, so the issue there is that like you have difficulty proving the existence of an infinite space because you don't have examples or evidence of like dimensional barriers, and even without the dimensional barriers between the pantheons, as I've already demonstrated and proven, the Greek pantheon has no barriers between the realm of Olympus, the mortal realm, and the underworld. You can fall between them with ease. So basically, you have to just operate under the assumption that it's like a limited level of like you have to now assume it's a limited level of infinite. You have to assume it's infinite only one direction but not another, and you have to assume that the Greek pantheon is completely contained within itself, within its own creation story, and never managed to stretch into an area that would affect any of the other pantheons conveniently with no actual scans or evidence. You just have to make like a bunch of assumptions. And under Occam's razor, that would be completely and totally fallacious.
Don't you mean?
Also, it gets worse with the scan that you showed me. I think it was last week, where you showed me that they intended the underworld to be directly under the earth.
Yeah, the God of War 3 guidebook directly states verbatim that the underworld is intended to be directly under the earth. But that's also stated in the instruction manual for God of War 1, that the underworld is in the earth. They stated it multiple times, they showed it visually, I don't know how much more clear they could have fucking been, and people were like, you mean they're separate dimensions, right? It's like, they're in the earth. It's like, yeah, so they're separate dimensions. No, they're in the earth.
They're geologically separated, so, geologically, dimensionally separated.
Well, let's say for the sake of argument, I gave them like infinite speed. There are plenty of characters, like general Bleach characters. While they don't have infinite speed, the issue is that they don't really need it to beat a character that's unfathomably weaker than them, AP wise, and who mainly achieves their win con off of beating people through AP, which is how the God of War characters win.
I think my last Friday stream, I think I was asked the question, what Stone Ridders could beat Kratos in a fight. I think I found 13 of the alphabet could do it, because I started with Askin and Asnod.
Wow, great story.
You started with just the shoot staffel.
Likely to happen again? Sudden, uncontrolled.
Do you want me to be petty and say Quillhay as well?
I mean,
Got my back?
yeah, no, petty. Well, it's not really petty to say. Like, I don't personally believe throwing a Bleach character with really absurd hacks against a God of War character is considered like petty. If someone's asking a genuine question, I think it's fair to tell them like the truth.
Hang on a minute. Both of you stop for a moment. Devil.
Quillhay fights Kratos in a trace, and Kratos goes up to him and he's like, I need to go into a spare house. Am I going to spare you? Stab Atreus. No! I will.
Devil, how do you find Trace's gameplay so far? I believe you said it looked more interesting.
Interesting.
Devil.
Can you hear
Yeah, we
me?
can hear you.
No. Yeah, I heard you that time.
I'll be back.
I kind of like what I've seen, to be honest, for Atreus. But that's also because Atreus is designed to be in this game.
Man!
Which Kratos is, but, he wasn't.
This looks a lot more
Definitely.
intense than Kratos' gameplay. Atreus is just doing more flips, but it still looks more intense.
Of course he does. He's got more agility.
Oh, that's actually...
He also has a bow, so he's based. Guys are giving away 1K gems in Master Duel. Hell yeah! Wait, Azara, for what? For like a celebration or something?
Good question.
I'll take it, but like, I would like to know what it's about. I was about to D-rank myself in Master Duel so that I could work my way up, fill out that entire duel pass, and then just like get a shitload of gems, super rares, ultra rares, the works, and then just finish 2 of my decks and some generic extra deck cards.
Lies.
Mine. I'll answer questions in a moment once I'm done not dying. How you doing, Devil?
Okay.
So yeah,
You say you're
start
doing
shot.
Y-
Yep.
Oh. I was gonna say, how are the different arrows treating you?
I only have 2 right now.
I haven't looked at the stream, but do you have Sonics?
So many objects in your bag.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
And normal arrows.
Whatever.
Ah, yes.
You know, did Sindri really seem
These
that?
enemies have no wit.
Did Sindri really seem super selfish in the last game, or was that just me that didn't really see that?
I mean, he seemed kind of selfish, but like that's also because he didn't really know them.
Well, no, because like he becomes like he cares way more about objects than he does people.
Or does your brother have all the talent after all?
Well, yeah, he's germophobic.
That doesn't mean an attachment to items over people.
Confirming Brock has all the talent.
You do understand that a person who's like germophobic in general, like, is less inclined to be around people because they're so dirty, right?
Yes, but these are people he's chosen to like consider his family, and yet like.
Sure, and he'll tolerate them over like literally anybody else, but
Man,
like,
do you just think every person is a
he'd still
germaphobe is
prefer.
intrinsically just a piece of shit?
Probably not even there. Besides,
No. I'm not saying they're intrinsically a piece of shit. I'm saying like they have a different perspective on how they view people versus objects, and like it's not that they don't inherently care about those things. Their point of view is different.
Why are you talking to me like I'm not a germaphobe?
Because you're not.
I mean,
I literally spent.
I don't feel it's yours is.
Damn.
I don't feel like yours is nearly as bad though.
Man, I literally have to buy an entire bottle of lotion and rub my hands with lotion like every day because they're so dry from all the hand washing.
All I hear is that you need to buy another bottle because you're not good enough. Oh shit.
That's not weird at all.
His eyes change colors.
Do they?
Oh, stop fucking hitting me! Piece of goddamn shit. Oh my god, I hate these fucking lightning urns. Holy shit.
But Mangler, you have a dodge button. You'll be fine.
No.
Yes.
Mangler, just use your jump button.
That works too,
Dude,
actually.
the jump button doesn't do anything.
What the fuck?
It does.
No, it doesn't do anything
You
at
wanna
all. Most of the
walk
enemies
that
are
the
literally
fuck?
programmed to just hit you mid-jump.
Bruh. You know, for a guy who's as germophobic as him, you'd think he'd wear just a pure suit of armor at all times.
That's the only problem I had with... Whoa! Did I really just lose everything to these fucking things? Oh my god!
What? Said every villain ever.
God of War game needs more combos.
50 million downloads? Jesus.
Yeah, and
I think Jesus.
Lost everything.
I think Jesus has more than that.
yeah, and you don't know what?
Does
Half
he?
those people aren't even playing the game anymore.
What, the Master Duel of the Bible?
Yes.
What is that?
Because I think both of those statements are true.
That's all you're gonna say?
And for $18.99, you get over 2K gems.
Anything?
Wait a minute, Azara, do they have a Black Friday sale?
Mangler, it's already past Cyber Monday. There wouldn't even be a sale anymore.
Just wait for the Christmas sale.
I should have really considered
You
that.
fucking dumbass.
I'd put like 99 cents down for like fucking a deck.
They would not give you a deal that good, I bet.
More people play Master Duel than Duel Links? That is true. Because they realize what an actual game looks like. Can Greek gods kill immortal persons? That depends on the immortality. Greek gods can interact with immortalities, as shown by Zeus. Zeus is able to remove what's his name? Prometheus' immortality and turn him into human and curse
I
him.
would actually like to point out for a minute, if Atreus could actually pry the door open with his bow and arrow, there's no reason he can't fucking do it with his bare hands.
Freya's in a good mood. Well, now that I know where she is. Yeah.
That always kind of bothered me that they made a joke out of that,
Oh, he can't
where
break
he's
the
just
chest?
like, can't break a chest. No, so he can't break the chest. He tries to punch it, but then he breaks it with like his bow and arrow, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense at all, lore-wise.
I had no choice.
Actually, I think one of my favorite jokes is when you wear fake Tyr and you're in Alfheim. If you go off the beaten path and you start looting stuff, Tyr's just like, what is he doing? My father likes loot.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I
And
think
then there's also one bit there where if you can't figure out how, like, one of these, so you know the chests where you have to, like, find the 3 sigils?
Yep.
So there's one of them where you have to light 3 of the sigils, and if you can't figure out how to get to the last one, with me it's just like, try going from the top. You do it, you go back down, and Chaos is just like, thank you, smartest man alive. That's what I'm here for.
Kratos does give him some shit every now and again.
why are the puzzles so hand-holding?
Because at one point, Mimir says some shit like fucking, like he's all like, oh, wow, that chest can open. Smartest man alive.
I love it. Will you try making conversation with you?
Devil, do you believe in like a dodge? You know, maybe a little bob and weave? Maybe not just I immediately blow up after getting hit once?
Do you want to be...
Devil, you're like a house of straw. You just keep falling in.
When are you going to bleed?
That's what she
The way
said.
Devil's calling him the London Bridge.
Damn.
Pretty sure it stands more than I do.
Damn. He doesn't even get why.
It's a sale to celebrate the milestone.
Please tell me you got the
I'm
joke.
assuming it's based off the song?
Why don't you sing it so I can tell it's the right one?
London Bridge is falling down?
No,
There you go.
no, Azara's referring to the Master Duel.
No, I know he is, but because Kyle was worried I didn't get the London Bridge joke. Gee, no faith in me.
Oh. I didn't know about London Bridges.
You didn't know Iron Maiden made Run to the Hills.
I didn't, because it was a good song.
Yes. Like a lot of their
Maybe you
songs.
say so.
Man, I want to hear this from you. You listen to Imagine
I do
Dragons.
not listen to Imagine Dragons. That is wrong.
Imagine them making some good music for a change.
I've never
That would
heard of
really
Imagine
bring the
Dragons.
thunder.
Okay, Thunder does suck ass. I don't know how that song ever got popular.
You know what? If they could ever make a good song and someone could show it to me, that would make me a believer.
Did you hear their Arcane soundtrack?
No.
Probably
I haven't
should.
seen
Probably should not.
That's quite enough excitement for one day.
Don't tell me it's fucking done by Imagine Dragons.
One of the songs is the main theme song is done for Imagine Dragons.
Oh dear.
Imagine Dragons actually gets along really well with Riot Games. I think they did the first theme song.
Don't be a baby. I'll catch you. Promise not to drop you this time.
Warriors, yeah, Warriors is the League of Legends song. That's the League of Legends song from Imagine Dragons.
That way. Though sweet Vessel, I wish it did.
See? Was that so bad?
I sincerely hope I never have to do it again, if that's what you're asking. My shop. Well, if I can
Right, now I've got an asshole who can shoot lightning. Fucking.
Shoot yourself.
Why did they literally copy paste the Dark Souls 3 Lothric Knight into this game? Asta versus Ichigo with equal stats. I don't know what this Asta is.
Are Ichigo's attacks magic or not? Because if they are, I think Astra wins technically.
Wouldn't- It would just be like supernatural elements.
No, it's soul based.
Oh, so is a lot of the magic that Asta can stop.
Well, this depends on the question. Do we say Asta has generic energy absorption or negation?
It would be because magic in Black Clover is just generic energy.
I see.
You sure you want to go in there wearing the very
I was gonna say,
It's
soul
not like
energy and-
it's not like fairy tale magic, where fairy tale magic is actually made out of specific particles.
to be a better person?
It makes me feel great.
It's spiritual pressure in Bleach is not really like even consistently generic spiritual pressure, or how can I say this? It's not even generic energy of the soul, because even amongst Hollows and Soul Reapers who both have spirit energy, the Ryatsu is treated like completely differently. Like, I think even when your spiritual pressure goes high enough, it starts to become like, as Uryu puts it, when he senses Ukiura, the spiritual pressure becomes basically alien. It doesn't even feel like spiritual pressure anymore.
This is life and death.
And this is
So that's without mentioning like Quincy's.
You can basically argue the same thing then for like the curses that the demons use in Black Clover, because they're different from
Which way to the council?
magic.
As long as I go up and forward, I think I'll get there eventually.
Why are these arrows going right over his fucking head? What kind of bullshit is this?
Force is finally hitting him now. Miyazaki needs to get out of his fetish of creating like small-sized enemies that have like really like obnoxious hitboxes and fucking spammable throwing items.
No. And you'll like it for every
Tell
Elden.
that man to get a life.
You'll like it for every Elden Ring DLC. You fuck.
Are they actually making deals even?
They are making, I think, 2 DLC packs. They've already confirmed one's in the works.
Jesus.
I know. It's more than what God of War Ragnarok's gonna get.
Don't say that.
I already told Devil, and I think I already told Kyle this. I don't know if I told you this, but Devil sent me an article. They already confirmed they're not going to make DLC for Ragnarok.
I know. That's it's rough.
I just don't understand why not. Like, why not even weapon DLC, you know? Like, why not something? You can still make more money off this game, you know?
It's not about the money.
Yes, it is.
It's about sending a message.
To be better.
No. The message is we ran out of like creative ideas, and we know that if we include DLC on the table, you're gonna beg, whine, piss, and moan for the Greek items, and we don't want to do that. We want you to,
No.
go back and play those old
Why
consoles
the fuck?
to get them.
Why the fuck was the Blade of... I don't understand why the Blade of Olympus was never brought in general. It just seems so ridiculous.
We need to get a different angle on the sound stuff.
It died with the Greek Pantheon.
I mean, to be fair, when Athena pulled it out of Kratos' body, all the light on the blade drained out completely. It looked as dead as a wasted battery cell.
So it just looks as dead as Kratos then.
Yep. See, now we just have confirmation why that happened.
Oh my goodness. Wait, what if Fear Zeus didn't destroy the weapons, but just because the lamb was being destroyed, all that and match just left?
No, because the Pantheon was being destroyed at that point. It would just mean that when Zeus died, when the last god died, the magic in the Pantheon fucking started dying.
That's a good point.
Well, I guess when the last god died, that technically would have included Kratos, because Kratos was still the god of war.
Where do you think I
So,
learned it from?
which I find kind of ironic, because they literally established that the god of war doesn't need to exist for there to be, like, proper balance of the world or anything. They're literally like, yeah, Ares is gone, and there doesn't seem to be any lack of war below.
People say God of War Ragnarok has no New Game Plus mode. It does not.
It doesn't have a New Game Plus or DLC?
Yep.
Ooh,
What?
that's not good.
What's wrong, Mingler?
Would help with replayability. I mean, it's not actually a real RPG anyway, so, you know, it might be a good idea to put some elements. Make it seem so. Is this guy actually following me up a ladder? Fucking loser.
Hang on. 85. Do games need New Game Plus mode to be a good game or not? No, but if you're gonna make an open world game with RPG mechanics, it's a little silly to not have one.
You gonna finish
Yeah, I
it?
was gonna say if you're making an open world RPG game, especially one that is ripped straight off of Souls mechanics, you need New Game Plus because you need to test out different combat strategies, experimentation with mechanics, etc. But then again, if you also water your game down and don't include any elements in it that would allow or would encourage exploration or experimentation, then I guess you don't. Dude, what the fuck is with this catacomb area? So stupid.
Gotta keep going up. Wonder what Mom would do. Why don't you trust her? Why won't you tell me?
What game had the most DLC? Probably a fighting game like Dead or Alive or something. Man, Zero Squad's just a bunch of disappointments, aren't they?
Why do you always die on that hill?
I'm sorry, Mangler. I just saw the Soul Society get their ass beat, and then Zero Squad shows up like that's not our job. Bro, last I checked, you're part of these squads. You're Squad 0, you fuckers.
Last I checked, they explained verbatim. Don't be a fucking soy phone and be like, "Why weren't you here before?" Someone had to correct her ass and be like, "I don't know if you've noticed this, but we guard the royal king. You guard the
Well,
Serente.
maybe if those
place."
fuckers didn't chop him up into tiny pieces, he wouldn't need fucking guarding.
Maybe if you were strong enough to actually do your job,
They weren't even
you
strong.
wouldn't need to be
They
there.
weren't even strong enough to do theirs. They folded in a few minutes.
Yes, they were though.
They were strong enough to do it, man. I must have.
Ichibei could only be beaten by Yuha once he had the Almighty. He would have literally beaten every single enemy in the army. What's it called? I can't remember his name. The father of the Zanpakuto. He literally could one-shot every single enemy in the army if he hit them
you're telling
once.
me
And he did. He one-shot the entire shoot stop.
So you're telling me that they got folded by the exact same enemy that folded the Soul Society after talking all that shit? Damn.
No, they
bad.
folded the enemy that folded the Soul Society.
No, that's why.
They literally had to bring them back from the grave to win.
Bruh. At least Soul Society came back and won. Those fuckers just died and had to revive the novels like a bunch of bitches. I'm just saying they talked a lot.
Actually,
I'm just saying they talked a lot of shit.
Actually,
and they got folded real fucking quick.
Well, they folded the strongest Stern Ritters, which the Soul Society couldn't do, so they objectively proved they were stronger.
And then the Soul Society came back and actually did something, and they just died.
Right.
Also, didn't
Captain Commander with a Bonkai that no one had any data or information on, and then required a plot device to beat Lily. Whereas Mayuri, in order to beat Pernida, he's like, I need ultimate prep time. To beat Gerard, no, they actually never even beat Gerard. They never beat Gerard. Fucking Yuha blew him up, and then so here's the thing. Your example are 4 Sternritter officers, one of which was killed by the main antagonist by absorbing his powers, 2 of which were killed by the greatest prep time users in fucking fiction, and then the last one was fought by a Bonkai ability that no one in the series knew any information about, and then was killed by a plot device afterwards.
Zero Squad was saying a lot of shit there, and they got folded. That's all I'm saying, bro.
And you're arguing that it's like, wow, they didn't beat them, but they literally did. They just got resurrected and became stronger, though.
Bro, listen. I just have a simple question.
Oh my god.
I just have a simple question. Simple question. Did they get folded by the same enemy that folded the Serente? Just answer the question. It's a very simple question.
Technically they didn't, because Yuha never used the Almighty in the first invasion. And the shoot stopple never participated in the first invasion. I mean, I'm pretty sure they were there, but they never did anything. So yeah, they were defeated by a completely different enemy.
No, I saw that
using different powers that were never shown.
That's crazy, bro. So I saw these fucking like Nazi wannabe Quincy's, and I saw the same Nazi wannabe Quincy's walk into the fucking Zero Squad and fold their ass. That's pretty fucking crazy, bro. That's pretty crazy, bro.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that they got fooled by the same people after talking all that shit. That's all I'm saying. You can be tired all you want. Just like the Soul Society's tired of dealing with Zero Squad's bullshit.
Dude, the Soul Society doesn't have room to fucking talk.
You're right, they actually won. Why would they talk to trash? Imagine having the ability to literally conceptually manipulate somebody and still lose. Imagine having the power of the color black and still losing. Imagine. Actually, so can I just say how the fuck? Well, I mean that's how Ichibi's power works. Like his quote unquote Bonkai, because I don't think it's actually a Bonkai. I think it's just like a higher form of power.
Well, he calls it the equivalent of what you refer to as a Bonkai, but he is the man that gives names to Zanpakuto, so like it wouldn't be a Bonkai for him, because I believe his would be the first.
Hello down there. Hey! Come to your senses yet?
Bruh,
I mean, I'm not changing my mind.
why
You do have
you lying? I'm just saying, I saw him get folded by the same guy that's folded Yamamoto.
Hey! Like you never do? Better than having regrets. I'm not sure I agree with that.
A different context there as well.
And you might find those.
Damn. Damn.
That's clarified again in the anime that Yuha specifically waited for him to fight Lloydroid so that he could use most of his energy from his Bonkai.
Hey, Freya. What? Don't I pay an old friend a visit?
Which I'm gonna be honest.
Why you acting like Yuha wouldn't have folded his
Someone
ass?
who's like, yeah, I got the Almighty in this medallion, but like, I need you to use up your Bonkai energy first, and I'm like, that's not what someone says if they have an instant win con. That sounds like the words of a person who's like, "Yeep, rather not fight that."
Listen.
Here goes nothing.
Boss fight?
I'm just saying, they got folded. Very simple. Very simple.
Freya! You should have stayed with Sindri. Wait! Stop! Your father.
Looks like the FTC is likely to file an antitrust lawsuit
Against
to
who?
block the Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal.
What?
Good lord.
Okay, so this.
Lawsuit.
I mean, I guess.
We'll go
no,
ahead.
no, I mean, I guess it's fair. I don't know if I agree with that, but I guess it's fair.
Also, like, I would agree with that principle if they were consistent with it
Why
across
the
all
fuck
companies,
did he
across
bring
all
the
industries.
mistletoe
They're
with
fucking
him?
not. The FTC.
Sorry, I just remember that this dumbass literally brought the same weapon that killed her son.
Why not?
You would stake your life on it.
Yes, that's how you do it. Lawsuit challenging the deal is not guaranteed.
Here you haven't killed me yet.
And
So while you're thinking
the FTC's 4 commissioners have yet to vote a complaint and meet with the lawyers. FTC staff reviewing the deal are skeptical of the company's arguments.
fate.
How about they be, like, aware of how the actual industry works?
Get to Odin. Nor do I need to. Ragnarok will take him. Yeah? Well, what if I told you that he came to Midgard? He came to us. Offered peace if we don't move against him.
Bruh.
Claims Ragnarok's already been averted. He lies. Maybe. But if you know Groa's prophecies, you know it depends on an army of giants. The giants wait for war in Jotunheim. No. I've been there. There is no giant army. There are no giants at all. Just me. You.
Bruh.
In Jotunheim.
So we're saying Aizen is better? Also, I've never heard of the Paper Wasp Flesh Hornet.
And that's not all. I think maybe we're supposed to help stop Odin somehow. But since all the giants are dead and you won't fight Odin, then neither do you.
I'm just sick and tired of people trying to argue against the Activision deal like it's like a typical example of like your company merger. It's like it's not really.
This is a very black and white issue.
What we found here.
For once.
Maybe if you spoke to him, there's a yeah. He broke him out of protocol.
Apparently they tried to kill him. Yeah, but apparently the chair still keeps him in place.
Up the way. We just don't know where to go next. But if we all band together,
Well, they tried everything, and oh, actually, now that I mention it, you don't have Hulu, do you? So, do you know that they add a new dialogue scene in the in Thousand Year Blow Arc between Yuha and Aizen?
No. I do not remember that. Or I don't know what you're talking about there.
I hear silence.
Well, could you repeat what you said?
Yeah, so he basically they added a new scene between Yuha and Aizen of dialogue that doesn't happen in well, it's I was down below over this versus Yamamoto kills basically. Like, what were you doing? It's like I was going down there to see Sosuke Aizen, and then it pulls itself to Mukin, and he basically requests essentially for him to join him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not interested in joining you." They're like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave." And it's like, should you really leave without killing me? Like, if you want to do it, now is the time. And he's like, it wouldn't really be worth it because due to your immortality, it would be too difficult to kill you and transport you to back to the Vanderreich. Or back to the Vanderreich. Like, he says something to the effect of, like, it would be way too much of an inconvenience to try to kill you due to your immortality.
Mangler, that
so, like,
sounds like you don't...
he's convinced that, like, yeah, everything that the Sternrothers have to offer is not enough to kill you.
Mangler, that sounds like you think the Almighty wouldn't kill Aizen now, Mangler. That seems a little silly.
I'm just telling you, from Yuha's mouth, Yuha is like, yeah, listen, you either join me or I'm gonna leave.
Are you fine?
Because I can't force you.
Are you finally ready to accept that Aizen would have beat Zero Squad if he made it up to the top of the fucking Soul Society? You ready to accept that? You ready to finally accept facts? Aizen's skill is above the verse?
I accepted he would have lost to Ichibe.
I'm saying he wouldn't have. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. Actually, nowadays he might, but
go bird.
Well, no. So nowadays he probably, well, actually, maybe not, depending on how you want to argue Aizen's powers. But like, if we're talking like when the Hogyoku was still when the Hogyoku was still listening to him, he would have beat him. Because you have to argue. You would have to argue.
Like, if he went in there when it started activating.
Where's your necklace? Huh?
What do you mean?
Well, you have to prove that Ichibe, whatever his name is, knows about like how the Hogyoku works and knows to nullify it.
Yeah, no, they do. They have ongoing updates of what's happening in the Seirete. So they would be aware of the Hogyoku. It would have been reported to them that 3 captains betrayed the fucking thing. Now, he might not know the abilities of the Hogyoku because it is confirmed what the true abilities of the Hogyoku are in a conversation between Ishin and Aizen when he's already like in the fake Katakura town. So at that point, yeah, they would be aware of that conversation.
Yeah,
but it wouldn't really matter.
I'm pretty sure it would if the Hogyoku's power is literally self-actualization.
No, because you can't self-actualize. I take away the concept of your existence and your powers, which includes your self-actualization.
Not to be that guy, but you watch literally did that.
Yeah, because he had resistance
He
to
wasn't
it.
resistant to it. He just used the Almighty to get it back. He was literally as weak as
No,
an
like
ant.
when it was taken away. When it was taken away. No, I mean the first time when it was taken away, when his voice was taken away, he literally had to like, I think he had to rip out his throat or something to give himself back his powers, and then he's just like, okay, ink, and then
I feel
he
I
made him an
feel
ant, and then he's like,
like
all right, I have to use the Almighty now.
I feel like I'm just gonna be honest here. Given the fact that they don't kill Aizen, and Zero Squad, I think, does call Aizen pure evil, so they do think he's a threat. I think the fact that they never killed him just kind of proves that Ichibe's power wouldn't work on like the immortality either.
So I don't think that they would have been able to kill him, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that they wouldn't have been able to do that. Because they have more than enough ceiling things to be able to take him, like, to
Is
subdue
Aizen
him.
even really stuck in the chair,
But-
or is he just choosing to be stuck in the chair?
He is actually stuck in the chair. Yes. Because that chair and the things in Mukin are designed both by most of the Soul Society administration and like most of the researchers, and mainly are overseen by Mayuri directly. As Mayuri, like, well, I think they technically clarify this in the scene. They actually confirm in the Thousand Year Blood War the Hogyoku is still fused in his body, which is weird because in the manga Mayuri has the Hogyoku for some reason. He somehow got it out of Ice's body.
Maybe it just went back to him after a while, or maybe like what he means by still fused is that it still belongs to Aizen, it doesn't belong to anyone else.
Aizen's just like, I don't really care if you have it, whatever. It's mine anyway.
He's all like,
Examine it, whatever. I'm just gonna.
It's okay. Here you go, Mayuri. Have it. Try and be better than Kisuke. Have it.
I unironically think he just let it happen because, like, keep in mind, like, Aizen of the Thousand Year Blood War is a bit different. He's kind of just tired.
I mean, let's look at the list.
Like,
his only two retainers both died due to different circumstances, and he literally would have no one to help him take over the Soul Society. He's going to outlive literally everything. Like, he could literally just wait long enough for people to forget why he's in the chair and take over the Soul Society at that point. He literally has no reason to not play the long game.
I was gonna say he could live long enough, or just get involved. Like, whenever some crazy event gets involved that needs his help, as long as he cooperates and keeps doing stuff like that and doesn't get his sentence increased. Yeah, no, he could eventually outlive everybody.
Well, no, so I actually have a simple question then. Would they actually let him out after his sentence?
I think what they would consider is that he's been in Mukin the entire time and he's never chosen to break out. So they'd probably be like, we need to put you under constant surveillance. And he'd be like, sure, whatever.
Sure, whatever. Put me under constant surveillance.
Constant surveillance.
You know, with my power being... Actually, wait, do you guys remember what my power is? You have a power? Perfect. Can Ichibe move Holy to a bomb?
You don't remember what my powers are? Oh,
Probably not.
yes, it was the ability to produce
It's
water forms based on.
Yeah, my Bankai lets me create water
Then
forms.
Kyoriku's like, I've literally been here for the last 20,000 years. You're not fooling anybody.
Oh, sure, Kyoriko, just tell me what my Bankai is.
He's got like a white beard and everything. It's like, you do realize in the time that you've been down there, I've actually raised stronger than you, right?
Okay,
So,
try and kill me then.
I will not let you pull the bullshit.
How would they get Keto on him? Aizen would probably avoid the seals. He only got hit with Hatin Clogs because he never thought they could win. Even then, it took Mugetsu to make the seal workable.
It really just took anything that was powerful enough. So technically, if Yamamoto hit him with the incineration attack, if the seal had been put on him prior to the fight with Yamamoto and Wonder Weiss hadn't been there, or Wonder Weiss had actually been killed by Kensei, because Kensei was supposed to fucking kill Wonder Weiss, and then he got off screen for no reason.
Want to talk about it?
If Kinsei had killed him,
Actually,
then
hang
yeah,
on.
Yamamoto would have just incinerated Aizen.
No, that's right. Aizen does get stronger in the fucking chair. Unless you want to... Well, actually, that's debatable. So, I don't know too much about Bleach's details specifically. However, if I recall correctly, Ichigo's power during his fight with Yuha, or Yuwatch, whatever he's called, is on par with the final form he had when he fought Aizen.
Yes, it is. Well, so that's not where you get the statement for Aizen becoming stronger. It's just stated that he's become more powerful, or he might have even become more powerful than his battle with Ichigo, and that's
Devil, what
after he's brought out of Mukin and he tries to shoot down the Soul King's
Well,
palace.
no, so...
Because what they realize is
he
that
tries to, but then they put him in another chair. And then he's like, all right, let's see what wins, the chair or my power?
Well, so what happens is that basically after Yuha tries to absorb Reo, and then, or the Mimihage, it then drops like all the different like fucking like pieces of Reo's spirit energy that are like gobbling everything up. And then Aizen is just like Kurihitsugi, and then basically drops a black coffin on top of it. He black coffins himself and kills everything in the immediate vicinity, tanks it, and then Kisuke's like, he might be stronger than he was when he fought Ichigo.
He also would have kept evolving before reaching the palace and also while up to fighting them. So the problem is that we have two versions of Aizen. Fucking where you have an Aizen that technically continuously evolves forever.
We have three versions of Aizen, actually.
What, does the novel give you a new form of Aizen or something?
No, because we have the Aizen before he starts evolving. Like, technically he beats the 13 Court Guard squads before the Hogyoku allows him to evolve. Because at that point he's fighting Yoruichi and Kisuke, so like you could unironically argue if he either beat Ichigo or Ichigo didn't show up, and he just went straight to the Soul Society.
He's before the fight begins. Like, doesn't he already start the fight basically evolved, or at least stronger than what he was before?
He starts to get into the little wacky Christmas tree transformation until he becomes a chrysalis.
Yeah, because I was gonna say...
he starts getting sealed. He gets sealed immediately when when the Hogyoku starts evolving. So the seals are put on him. That's why I said, like, if Kisuke actually put the seals on him, because, like, so the reason the Hogyoku is actually activating is, as he puts it in his battle with Ishin, he's reaching his limit as a Soul Reaper. So he basically starts running out of spirit energy because basically the entire fight, like, he's used most of his spirit energy to fight the 13 Core Guard squads. Yeah, he is beating a lot of them, but he's also been using his powers to trick them with illusions all day long. And then he also got attacked by Aizen, or he also got attacked by Yamamoto. He had to dodge several of Yamamoto's attacks, and then Yamamoto also burned him with a Hado in the 90s. Then he got hit with a fully holified Getsuga Tensho, point blank. And then he got flicked through a building, actually several buildings, basically a city block, by Ishin, and then had to fight a full-powered Ishin. Then he was like, alright, now I'm starting to get a little tired. The Hogyoku's like, don't worry, I got you.
Hogyoku counter to the,
I got
to
you.
the miracle?
Yeah, probably. That would be a really boring fight to watch, though. You'd be like, I solidify the powers of the people and I become the impossible. It's like, really?
Aizen be like, I am the impossible.
When did you realize that wasn't just a part of my plan? The impossible is often something that I reach pretty frequently. So that's kind of why I said that, like, Aizen beating the Zero Squad only makes sense if Kisuke didn't put a seal on his body. The moment Kisuke put a seal on his body, he was fucked. Because, like literally, that's kind of why I'm asking, like, or kind of just suggesting like if Kisuke showed up early and then got a seal on his body, especially with the level of power that he had, if Yamamoto fought him, assuming they just took care of Wonder Weiss and killed Wonder Weiss,
Actually,
or like dealt with him,
can I just point out a simple fucking...
that would have been it.
Can I just say, I find it a little silly that they have only a 4-seater table. I understand they only know 2 other people, but are you really telling me Brock has, like, are you telling me they have no other friends? Like, why would you make a table that small in a room this big?
What are you referring to?
Oh, well, Devil just went through the dinner scene where, like, Sindri's like, I'm gonna go make a new table. And I just noticed in this scene that Sindri's getting, like, knocked around left and right by the other people. And I'm like, why not have, like, at least an 8-seater?
Oh, yes. Hang on, I'm gonna switch to earbuds. Or not off.
I'm trying to build
earbuds.
Cyberdog, but half the cards I can't generate. What the fuck?
Tyr really slept in my broom closet.
Cyberdog's good news support or something like that.
Or just the ones locked up for a lifetime or two.
Nary a lost step for the world's smartest man. Even without feet, would forgive the lemon. I was always fond of her talks.
Aye. And it's good to see you a free man again, old friend.
Man, Odin must have known Tyr pretty fucking well to confuse these people. Which also begs the question, was Tyr really this big of a bitch?
Darn straight. And never mind what Brock had to trade the landlord to get.
He's not the landlord.
Zim, name the worst deck ever. Oh, the worst deck ever? I don't think this will get much controversy since it's like never played ever. But probably it will be Aliens. The A counter was trash.
That's pretty bad.
Right behind you.
I'll meet you at the gateway presently, friends.
Wow, you were gonna leave Amir behind?
Everything like that. That's comic relief.
As in 200,000 years later, I got the Hoyoku Shinzui, and we got stuck on Ichigo. No, don't they not live that long?
No, they could definitely live long enough. Like, Yamamoto lived for like 1,000 years.
Yeah, and he's already an old fucking man by that point, so their life expectancy is probably 1,500.
I wouldn't necessarily say that because even Rukia still has the body of like a child, and she's confirmed by the beginning of the series she's lived 10 of Ichigo's lifetimes. She's lived like 150 years at least. Toshiro, I believe, has lived like a similar length of time. In fact, his Bankai literally needs to age him into an adult body.
So
it depends entirely on the person.
I don't think that's entirely accurate. I'm pretty sure they all have the same life expectancy depending on when you start in the Soul Society. The problem is that Yamamoto went from what we're going to assume was a middle-aged man to an old man in 1,000 years. So that has to mean that 1,000 years of time is most likely at least a 30-year time in their years.
Unohana is as old as Yamamoto and she still looks young. This is true.
True, but she could have just been a lot younger when she died and went there. Not to be that guy. Yami looks pretty. Yami probably looks like an old man because he likes to look. Unohana looks the same. Or you could just argue the real
Umana.
base take, and that she was never meant to be alive that long until she got retconned to do so in the Thousand Year Bulwark.
No, the ultra base take. She uses that special skincare product.
I mean, she has healing.
That's what all her. Well, I was gonna say her teacher actually has some training involving was it some hot springs and things to soak up your skin and improve the quality of it. So perhaps she did some skinny dipping.
So that's why good Master Brock needed an alpine.
Just made her extends your life by an extra 300 years.
That seed you found unlocks Niflheim of all places.
Yeah, she's as old as as Yamamoto. Ichiban and the Sword Guy are still even around since the beginning. Yeah, no, they've literally what's his name, Nimiyama or whatever. He's literally aware of the name and has created the name of each, or created the Asuchi of every single Zanpakuto that has ever been created.
Travel, you can tell me the tale of your prior visit to the land of the elves.
And they basically look. Nimiyama looks like he's in his. I'm gonna be honest. He looks like he's in his late 20s.
First time we ever realm traveled using your temple.
Ichibe looks like he's early 40s.
Can't leave Midgard.
So
So then we fought our way.
yeah, I don't think what they look like is any indication of how old they actually are.
We sought to fill our Bifrost, and they attacked us.
Unless they're a human.
Did they now?
Why don't we start asking the real questions though? When does Kratos sweep the Schutzstaffel?
Never.
5 years from now. That's where we'll find Groa's shrine.
Come on, you're willing to argue he can grapple with Nero?
I don't even know
What?
who these Swissoffles are.
Fix for that.
Well,
I know who
Okay,
the
that one
Stern
was
Redders
pretty good.
are, so to speak.
that one was pretty good. Did you call them Swiss waffle?
Yeah. So much for things being better in Alpha.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry, Mangler. Just repeat back what you told me.
That's what I heard. That's what it was. Simple as that.
After I hit Alpha.
The Schutzstaffel are they're basically the Yuha's elite guard. They are made up of Askin, Klivard, Gerard Valkyrie, what is
Wait,
it?
are you telling me
Pernida
are you telling me
Projankis
these are just
and
like?
Willy Bardo.
Are you telling me these are just the top tier Stern Ridders then?
I hit
Yeah,
something out
and then the Sternritter Grandmaster, Jugram Haschwalt. There's also technically Uryu joins the ranks during the thing. So if you want to count him, they technically have 5 of the Royal Guard, and then they have a commander of that Royal
Oh
Guard.
yeah,
who's
then
also
Kratos
his-
fucking loses to. Then Kratos doesn't get anywhere near them because I know Uryu's power is the ability to reverse an action, right?
What are you saying? You keep cutting out. You leave the call and rejoin.
Nah, bro, get
Wait.
on the stream.
No.
Anyways, yeah, I'm pretty sure Uryu takes Kratos. His literal ability is reflecting an action, isn't it?
It's reverting an action between 2 set points. And he literally demonstrates that he can do it over the course of like basically any period of time that he
Devil,
wants.
you're not gonna grab the chest,
So
it's
what
right
he
there.
does
That's not.
what he does is that
Oh, he can't reach
he
it.
fights Oswald all night long. Literally like all night long. And gets beaten like a bloody animal. And then he's like, wait, don't you want to see my shrift? And he's like, no, don't be ridiculous. If you had a shrift, you would have shown it to me by now. I was like, no, you should definitely see it, my antithesis. And he activates it, and Hoshwall's entire body just like splurts with blood. And he's like, yeah, my antithesis is just the ability to reverse things between 2 given points, shifting my wounds with that of yours.
Don't they? Doesn't he have also the same? Doesn't he have the same ability too? Like, don't they both share the same ability?
No. So what happens is that the so they both have causality manipulation to an extent. But what the balance does is far more broken. It's just that the balance counters other forms of causality manipulation with its better causality manipulation and probability
Wait,
manipulation
so
and some other
which
things.
which one counters the Almighty? Because I was told that one of these abilities counters the Almighty.
Antithesis. Antithesis. The balance does not. Antithesis does because you can just activate antithesis and inflict and reverse all wounds onto the person. Because as soon as he activates it, he's like, "That's a wonderful power. That might be." I understand now why you're the only one who survived the Ashvalin light. This power is great enough that it might be able to even contest His Majesty.
Very clever.
Man, if Udio doesn't keep
And then
if Udio doesn't keep that power, that'd be so lame. But I feel like if he did, he'd be too broken for the verse.
Well, several of the other Sternritters, according to the novel, kept their powers. They just lost their Volstandigs, which are just they're basically their equivalent of a Bankai. It's like their holy forms that take all their Reishi powers and things to their limit. That's all the Ashfallen Light. Well, actually, the Ashfallen Light doesn't even affect Uryu. He's explicitly stated to be the only Quincy in the series that is not affected by Ashfallen.
Oh,
so yeah.
So he kept the antithesis then.
So, yeah, unless Uryu has it directly absorbed from his body by Yuha's hands, he gets to keep it. Because Ashfallen does not work on him. That's actually why he's chosen as the successor, is because when he activated the Ashvalin to basically perform what is essentially an ethnic cleansing of all the mixed blood Quincy's, he killed every single mixed blood Quincy, or at least caused the deaths of them shortly after the fact.
So what you're telling me is that Udyu's never going to show up in an arc fighting again, because if he does, he's just going to win anyways, unless it's an insta-kill. Actually, I mean, maybe yeah, I'm assuming insta-kills to work on him.
He'll probably show up only for one. He'll show up in his general role, where he shows up to fight one enemy.
Which leads to another question: why didn't Udyu use the antithesis on Yuha? The writer probably forgot, if we're being honest, because I think the writer wrote himself into a corner.
No, it's because technically on his way to the battlefield, where you can intercepted him with a better ability called the Still Silver Arrow, which had the ability to power nullify the Almighty. And if you could what do you think is better, reverting all damage to your opponent, or just power nullifying the bullshit thing that allows them to keep cheating their way through all their fights?
So you think the argument here would be better that he just focused on using the better weapon because it was a better option?
Well, yeah, he probably would have been like, look, if it doesn't work, I'll use the antithesis. Because I was already told by his second in command it might be enough, so yeah, I'll go with that. But hey, my father gave me the Still Silver Arrow. He harvested it from my mother's.
My dad actually cared about me enough to actually give me something. We're using it.
That was literally the thing, because he realized, oh, that's what you were pulling from Mom. I was wondering why you were performing an autopsy on my mother. Now I know. It's because you were planning all these years to take revenge against you all.
And unfortunately, of course, Uryu just doesn't scale to Yuha then. I mean, he's the strongest Quincy outside of Yuha.
Yeah, but yeah, sure, probably. Yeah.
Well, I mean, unless you want to say Gerard Valkyrie over there with his 3,000 fucking revives.
Gerard Valkyrie on his third life. I'm coming back strong, everybody. Either that or Quilgay. Because Quilgay does have a feat of being able to fight Bankai Kyoraku after he comes back. And Bankai Kyoraku is confirmed to be so powerful in his release that none of the captains or anyone in the Varvelt, which is the transformed Soul King's palace, can sense his spiritual pressure. Only Ichigo can sense his spiritual pressure. They just see the world getting dark and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And Ichigo, among like Shinji and Mayuri and everyone else, like no one knows what's going on. Ichigo senses it and it's like, "Is that Shunsui?"
What's happening right now?
Which means that they can't sense his spiritual pressure. His spiritual pressure is literally so high, it's outside of the range of their senses. Because that is established in Bleach clearly that if you can't sense someone's spirit energy and you know they have spirit energy, then they are unfathomably more powerful than you. That is usually how it is. That's what's referred to as transcendent spiritual pressure. That's essentially where you cannot be detected by extrasensory perception because your power is just so much greater than theirs. That's what we see with Ichigo in his battle with Aizen. It's like, I don't feel anything from you. There's actually a couple times where that happens in the Thousand Year Blood War. It happens with Shunsui in his battle with Quilge when he does his Bankai, and it also happens with Kenpachi when he goes to fight Grimmy. Some of the Soul Reapers are just like, that's kind of weird. It's like, what? I mean, you said Captain Zaraki was up there, which I saw him, but like, why is it that I couldn't sense his spiritual pressure until he announced himself to me? I couldn't sense him when he was at the top. Like they make it clear on like a manga panel to show like they couldn't sense his powers. But that's just because Kenpachi is Kenpachi. I would say the only thing that Kubo probably forgot was that the visor. Well, I say forgot, quote unquote, was that the visored captains could use their holomasks. But then I realized that the visored lieutenants used their holomasks in the Thousand Year Blood War arc. So I'm assuming the reason he didn't choose it is because it would have been like it would have broke his plot point. Can the antithesis counter Ichibe's Bankai? No, because Ichibe's Bankai doesn't inflict damage to you. What Ichibe's Bankai does is it robs you of your name. And names in Bleach are technically akin to either concepts or akin to information, depending on how you want to look at well, actually, if we directly look at technically how Yuha puts his name on people, like when Yuha looks at a person, he doesn't actually see like just their physical body. He sees names. He sees information. That's actually how he determines like that a person is qualified to have a shrift. Because he just inscribes the name on their soul as what he depicts, like what he sees. So like demons from DMC, it's very similar. Like Ichibe I think is the closest example to demons' names and demons having names because he has almost the exact same power, except his is just less impressive. And it's a god tier ability in the verse of Bleach. Yeah, so the antithesis doesn't inflict, or well, I guess the antithesis reverses causality and whatnot, but like Ichibe's like name changing does not like inflict damage. So if he chose to turn Uryu to an ant, now Uryu could technically could change the events between 2 points, but like if it was activated on him, his powers would be nulled, so he wouldn't be able to activate the antithesis. If you're strong enough, you can beat Ichigo's Bankai. Isn't that how the one Hollow beat it in Can't Fear Your Own World? I would have to reread that, because I don't remember that being the case. Because spiritual pressure being strong enough to beat abilities is true to an extent, but that's because characters usually have an overwhelming amount of spiritual pressure that's near their body at all times, that's being physically exerted. Like, Bleach unironically has the Dragon Ball, like, higher power Null's hacks argument, except it does it the way that it's actually supposed to, which is if you produce spiritual pressure externally or internally at certain points, you can negate abilities. But you have to do it like when an attack is actually coming at you. It's not always passively on. And it's only limited to what you've demonstrated, of course. The Hollow and the Sword eventually overcame the name Steel. I'm pretty sure if that's true, if the Hollow and the Sword did that, then I'm pretty sure he did that because he gained enough spiritual pressure eventually to do so. But that took him, I'm pretty sure that took him his entire existence. Which was like either hundreds or thousands of years.
Oh yeah, doesn't Tyr hate the fact that you loot the place?
All the more reason to do it.
Like, what a savage. Clearly, Tyr has never been a fan of panning in RPGs. After eating pieces of the Soul King. Well, if you're eating pieces of the Soul King, you're going to be able to break out of anything in Bleach. It's not a coincidence that every single major, like, broken thing is, like, you know, from the Soul King. I mean, technically, if you want to argue this, I think there's a statement somewhere, or there's probably from Can't Figure Your Own World, that the Hogyoku includes a piece of the Soul King.
What the fuck? How the hell did Kisuke get that shit?
I mean, he got, like, pretty much everything. I mean, the Soul King's, like, left arm ended up in a fucking village in, like, West Rukon. Or something. The right arm ended up with the Quincy's. The brain ended up with the Quincy's. The heart ended up with the Quincy's. The piece of the Soul King ended up as the father of all Quincy's.
Wait. Are you telling me that? I thought Yuha just had the entirety of the fucking Quincy. I thought he was just the Soul King's son.
Well, he calls him his father because he's a piece of the Soul King. He was basically born directly from him because he was broken off. But like that's why he refers to him as his father. He's not like
so
a directly biological.
What part of the Soul King is he then?
I think he's just like he might be the legs, or if he's not the legs, he might have been a portion that like before his limbs were severed, because we know the Mimihage and Pranita are his left and right arms. We know what his brain is. We know Grimmy is his brain, or at least I think it's supposed to be his brain. That's also alleged. A lot of this is alleged in Can't Figure Your Own World, that like certain things are alleged, but all of them make the same kind of claims, so it's fine to believe them.
How the fuck could Grimmy not be Kenpachi then, if he's literally the Soul King's fucking brain? Are you really gonna sit there and tell me that Kenpachi is stronger than the Soul King now?
Well, so here's the thing. Kenpachi not only beats the strongest Sternritter, he's considered one of the special war powers by
I didn't see Gerard
Yuha.
Valkyrie go down.
I mean, he was actually the only person who could fuck with Gerard Valkyrie raw power-wise after he was been enhanced by all the other captains.
I didn't see him go down.
To the point where Yashiro was like, listen, the problem isn't Gerard Valkyrie, the problem is your body. It's not durable enough to handle your own power. Like, your body is actively damaging and destroying itself due to the power of your Bankai.
Ichibe versus Dante with equal stats. Dante takes that.
What was it? Did Ichigo have a piece of him? Yeah, it was from Rengiku. That was cheesy.
Are you sure Aizen doesn't fucking have a piece of the fucking Soul King in him?
I mean, if you want to count the Hogyoku.
Kvasir's poems.
At this point, the piece of the piece of the Soul King is kind of like Hashirama cells. Everybody has one. Assume they're everywhere and nowhere. Yeah, I'd have to see if there's like more information later, but we know basically where the entire top half of his body and several of his major internal organs
Dude, if
are.
Yuha's literally just his legs, that's so fucking lame.
Oh wait. Oh wait, I think I think I remember. One of the pieces of the Soul King is found in the plot for Can't Fear Your Own World, because the main villain of the
Can I just say that even by Odin's opinion of Tyr, would he really think Tyr's this big of a pussy? like Mimir too. Like, was Tyr really this big of a bitch?
probably wasn't. He was just gonna exaggerate that a little bit. Anyway, kind of caught me off guard. Talking about Bleach, you're just like, was Tyr that much of a bitch?
I'm sorry, come on. Can't you remove Dante's name or change name to Ant? Demons?
That doesn't really work.
Demons are technically above, or not above, but they like have higher levels of conceptual manipulation. But even if he did, it wouldn't really work on Dante, because Dante can lose his name willingly, and he could basically give his own name back.
Dante gave his name away.
Yeah.
Dante literally took his name away as a child, was like, I don't need this. I'm gonna become Tony.
So technically, as stupid as this sounds, Dante could literally just pull a U-Haul and just be like, yeah, I'm back. My name's Dante.
He could literally be like, I don't need my name. And Yuha's like, and Ichibe will be like, oh.
That's not...
Well, my sword doesn't do
That's
it.
not cool, bro.
He could literally do to Ichibe what fucking Masculine did to Rose. Where Rose is like, I'm going to activate a Zanpakuto that causes a bunch of effects based on the sounds you're hearing. And he's like, okay, and then he destroyed his eardrums. And then he's like, oh, did you just destroy your eardrums? I'm like, yeah. Die now. Like, so, it's that simple. Like, even demons, like, souls are, like, high enough, or higher concepts than, like, Bleach's, conceptual manipulation, because Bleach's conceptual manipulation is only type 2. Demon souls are type 1, and their names are higher than that. That's without mentioning there are demons that can fight and use their powers without their names. Like, there are demons that don't even have names. And there are demons that can resist having their names and can also fight with their powers even when they have new names that are put on them. So Ichibe's power wouldn't do jack shit, even in an equalized scenario. That would actually be the worst matchup, because you're giving him, it's like, here's my ultimate win con against a character who has consistent feats of nulling your ultimate win con in like 5 different ways. That's not fun. I was gonna say I think they found out that there was a, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Hikone was either considered a nail or had a piece of the Soul King's nail on her body, basically. Or was it something else? Basically, the Soul King's nail ended up somewhere in the plot of the Can't Fear Your Own World. It's been a while since I've read it, but you know, I never went to go get scans for it or anything. Fortunately, I have the whole thing. So, yeah.
Yes.
All of that just to explain that the antithesis beats Kratos. And so does the balance. And so does the death dealing. and so does the compulsory, and so does the miracle, and so does the x-axis. So does
You want to
the
talk about it?
Monday.
No, not really.
Oh.
It's just rain.
I think I missed. I think that's Devil's. Yep. Hey, Devil, you are doing better on your deaths though. At least you haven't died anywhere near as much. Although I know it's just because you were
Devil?
forced. I know it's just because he was forced to give up his true passion. He can't.
Let's be honest. Every time you tell him something, he's just like, I missed the part where that's my problem.
Devil listens. That's why he's not. That's why he's not back in Swaddleheim or whatever, fighting a bunch of fucking skeletons for his amusement.
God of War needs more air moves to combo. It needs more ground moves in general that aren't just like swing left, swing right, uppercut,
You want?
charge
You want to
attack.
talk about it?
Too weak.
Why are you lying?
Ooh. Let's see if I can go get some food. I'll be right back.
Oh, that's fucked.
Damn.
Cleared that shit too. What the hell?
Oh, son of a bitch.
Completing it. Okay.
So, seeing as it's been a year, how much stronger has Ichigo gotten? I'm not sure. I want to see Bleach.
They sure made a lot of these light doors.
Fortifications.
Aye, none too eager to let the Dark Elves run the roost again.
Oh man, I got a presentation tomorrow. Fuck, and I haven't. Well, I guess my group did finish it, but I gotta edit it tomorrow a little bit so that way I can say I did something for it. I feel bad for the one student who did shit for it because he's like, "Hey, you guys can edit anything if you want." And I look at my other teammates, and they're like, no one else touched it, and I'm like, damn. Feels bad to be him.
Why not
simply hold it in place.
Man, this fucking game really just likes fucking with your fucking, really just likes treating you like a fucking joke. What? Devil, how are you missing it? It's right there.
The angle looks right.
Excellent. Let's continue our set, yes?
I don't know how I was missing that either.
This game is treating you like a fucking joke.
Hey, that looks interesting.
I don't think that's the way up to the shrine.
We know.
There's a chest over here.
Oh, I see it now. Forgive my
Oh, tricky.
I am back with pizza.
Welcome back. Wait, your pizza? It's like 3 a.m. in the morning where you're at. What the fuck are you doing?
There's gotta be a way to get your act
You're not supposed to eat that late.
right.
You know, people tell me that, and I'm like, good. I'll take it under advice. The next time I decide to eat something at 3 a.m. Unfortunately, this is not one of those times. Seeing that it's been a year, how much stronger has Ichigo gotten? I don't think I understand the question. If you're talking about at the end of the series, like in the epilogue or like in No Breaths from Hell, we can't really tell for sure. We would assume he's gotten way stronger, but no way to know.
So PlayStation All-Stars ending would take place after fucking, well, it would take place after God of War 1, but it would technically be during the events of God of War 3. Because Kratos directly refers to storming Olympus after the ending's done. Zeus's ending is weird. Because, well, I guess...
Zeus is a young.
I guess Zeus's ending is right before he finds out the Titans are back.
Isn't Zeus supposed to be like a young Zeus in PlayStation All Stars?
No, at the end of the game, it's old Zeus talking about Kratos' assault on Olympus. Devil died somehow.
It takes place during God of War 3 for All Stars.
Yes. Where'd you give us info? That man growth in 3-ish years is insane. I want to know how bad it would have been in 15.
Hold on. To be fair,
No.
no, okay. Heard.
Actually, so someone said
Best.
best response.
I was gonna say that's the best response all night. Just No.
So someone said earlier that I guess Seth got mad and roasted some guy for asking Yuha versus Kratos.
Oh.
I'm going to just say this up front. I would love to see the context for how Seth got mad because I want to see if Seth got mad because he doesn't want to fucking acknowledge that Yuha would beat Kratos, or if he got mad because he doesn't want to do a Yuha matchup.
Who doesn't want to do a Yuha matchup? All you have to do is talk about how Yuha wins, or talk about all the reasons he doesn't win. Well, which is easier than you might think.
I mean, like, isn't
Usually with those duos,
isn't it like super easy to say why Yuha doesn't win? You just literally say that the Almighty doesn't work on his opponent, therefore he loses.
no, because the problem is that like, that's not how the Almighty works.
Oh my god.
So people forget the Almighty isn't just an ability you use on your opponent. You can use it on yourself. You can look into your own future and be like, well, seems I can't fuck with my opponent. Guess I'll fuck with myself. And they're like, wait,
Okay,
what?
okay,
And
but
I'm like,
the
yes.
point I'm making is that like basically Yuha's just like a slightly better version of Dante in regards to the fact that I don't have to just say outright that he wins by passively looking in your direction and thinking about it for 2 seconds.
Well, so then there's also the problem that he technically has, aside from Antithesis and like the Gluttony and a couple other Sternritters, he has every single other Sternritter power that he's absorbed with the Ashfallen. And he doesn't just have that, he also has Yamamoto's Bankai, because he stole that with the Medallia. And he also has the spiritual pressures and energies of every single soul he's touched, which includes all these Soul Reaper spirit energies that have been mixed in with his spirit energy during any of the battles that he's taken, which includes every Soul Reaper who's fought all of the Quincy's that he absorbed with the Ashfallen, which includes, but is not limited to, Byakuya Kuchiki, Kenpachi Zaraki, Koshiro Hitsugaya, Shinji Hirako, the list goes on and on. All captains, most lieutenants, main characters, etc. So, I would imagine, if I were to just make this clear, and keep in mind, he's already done a Yuha video that explains most of his powers. Nothing has really changed since then. Except now, you can simply just argue Yuha has, like, mid-godly regen. That's the only difference. You can just argue he has just better regeneration, because people have just gotten better at explaining information. Which means you now have to argue Kratos can kill a guy that is basically resistant to any form of, like, soul manipulation and existence erasure, and can regenerate from existence erasure. You have to confirm that Kratos can kill that guy, and it's like even if the Almighty doesn't work on Kratos, great. He'll just use the Almighty on himself. He can rewrite his own death. He can rewrite his own timeline to make it so that he's, like, more powerful. He can rewrite his own timeline to make sure that I don't know, like, he decided to attack with a specific, like, Sternritter ability more than once for a particular reason. I mean, that's aside from the fact that, like, Seth knows fully well how many Sternritter abilities there are hard counter Kratos, or Kratos doesn't have resistance to them. But, like, after the video I made, which Seth knows about, Seth is aware Kratos has pretty blatant weaknesses. I don't think he would like to have to talk about Yuha shitting all over those. Because the only thing you would be arguing for Yuha is that Kratos is simply faster, because Yuha doesn't have infinite speed. But then the Yuha person just has to argue, well, I have the miracle. So as soon as you touch me, that speed difference is gone. Reactive power level is a bitch. Also, the Almighty is a bitch. Also, the compulsory is a bitch.
Oh, you know, just go ahead and link to Video Mangler. No. He's referring to the fact that he's referring to the big God of War video, not specific U-Haul one.
Well, I was referring to a U-Haul one as well. Like earlier, I mentioned a U-Haul video that Seth has done, where he was explaining all the powers and abilities of the U-Haul. So he's known about them in an intimate detail for a pretty long time, for several years. Granted, he doesn't do a good job with the scaling in general, but like if he were to scale them to what he argues, if he were to scale U-Haul the way he argues about speed and like power, he would just believe U-Haul is flat out like he would just flat out believe U-Haul is just multiversal, or maybe even 2A, because even Versus Battle Wiki accepts U-Haul has 2A range. Because Can't Fear Your Own World establishes that the strands of time and the effects of time and the God of Time can affect the possibilities that he can affect are referred to as infinite, and the flow of time is just referred to blatantly as just infinite in general. So every possibility and timeline that he can see, there's just simply an infinite number of them. So given that he's operating under the assumption that he has at least the ability to affect those timelines, I think Seth has floated the idea he might have been able to destroy them. Even if he didn't, he basically has to accept that this man has like 2A range for all of his abilities involving the Almighty. So there's not really anywhere Kratos can go that can escape that, and the Almighty is like an instant activation. It kind of doesn't give a shit about distance. If U-Haul wants to activate it, then he can activate it on you. And so many of those abilities, especially if you look at them in the context of the Bleach, or just in go to Versus Battle Wiki, they actually did a great job of categorizing this. U-Haul has, I kid you not, the highest amount of abilities that are just listed as different versions of durability negation. Durability negation is not an ability that is friendly to Kratos. And this is true if you ask any person who scales Kratos how his resistance durability negation is. They have to struggle to come up with an example, and they're always like the Blade of Olympus. And like, aside from that, and they're like, not much. So if I'm like, alright, so if I gave you 8 different types of durability negation, would you be able to say that Kratos could resist them all? And then if I showed them, they'd probably be like, yeah, maybe this one, but probably not these. And the Soul King, so he would have all the energy of all the races. He didn't... Well, I guess he did absorb what was left of the Soul King. But, like, he wouldn't have all the energy of all the races. Not necessarily. He would not have the energy of the Hollows. But he would have the Quincy's. For the video that I'm referring to, the God of War video, I'm just referring to the why Dante vs. Kratos doesn't work. Mainly part 2. Because I just explain how bad all of Kratos' resistances are. Ajima Namajibi... Najimi versus Yuha with
none of us know anything about Madoka Box. I'm just gonna say that right now. That's a Neo question if you want to ask that someday, Dark Lord. Wholesale, not even gonna try that one.
I couldn't even pronounce that correctly. Good luck getting me to answer. That was what we call a struggle. Oh. I get into my bed.
Where's
now.
Neo? Probably sleeping.
Probably in the. As many of us are. Well, not really, at least there's still like 6 people on this stream. 3 people in the stream chat. So technically, we've almost got about 10 people here.
You sound so tired, man.
Decent, but. Oh yeah. Whew. I will say, discussing Bleach is fun, but goddamn, the amount of time it takes to actually understand how all the Stern Reader powers work.
It's okay.
I've heard your head
Just
thinking about
prove you watch has all those powers.
I hate having to have that conversation with someone that's like, well, he never shows them. I'm like, do you know how the Oshfallen light works?
Sure I do, but all I see is no powers being demonstrated.
It's like, sure I did. I know what an ethnic cleansing is. I'm like, oh, okay. But this is a special type of ethnic.
All ethnic cleansings are super special.
Super special. What was it? Doomslayer versus Kratos. Doomslayer. I still argued that Doomslayer beat Kratos prior to this, but holy fuck. Let's just say, like, when Doom Eternal came out, it did not nerf the Doomslayer's power scaling. In fact, it buffed it quite a bit.
Same thing Ragnarok did, right?
You know, you don't have to say
Same
that.
thing Ragnarok did, right, Mangler? Come on.
I wish.
I'll fucking kill you.
Let's say, why would you watch Need Them when you're already botting everyone in the Almighty? I would just say in general, why would you Hod need them when, like, his basic powers are enough? Like, the Quincy's can erase people from existence. But I guess people forget that.
Looks
because...
at the Hell Arc where all these people are still alive. They must have missed the memo, Mangler. You want to let them know they should be erased from existence. They must have missed that memo.
That would just mean that Hell regenerates them.
That's silly.
Or restores
That's
them.
silly. You're silly.
Hey, it's only a function of Hell. It doesn't scale to any of the characters. Oh. Hey, you think that ability is silly? Try, like, explaining the Sternritter powers to people just using the shoot Stoffel. Try explaining the Espadus powers to somebody. Ooh.
Oh.
To be honest, I think power-wise, Tozen probably would have cleaned up pretty well in the 1,000-year Blood War arc. Those Sternritters showed up and they were like, haha, use your Bankai. And he's like,
Okay.
Bankai?
Actually, so if the original fucking captains were there... If the original captains were fucking there, like, would they have actually stood a better chance with their abilities? Like, if fucking Gin was still technically a part of the Soul Society and so was fucking Tozen, would they have actually done better?
So, if we're considering where their level of power was currently located, keep in mind Ichigo was almost at Aizen's level, and Gin is able to fight him for a period of time. In his Bankai, though. But, like, he does basically showcase that, like, Bankai wise, when he uses Kamishi no Yoyari and Kamishi no Yari Buto and Buto Renji, he is able to extend Shino so fast, or Kamishi no Yari so fast, that it retracts by, like, if you aimed or moved your head away to dodge it, by the time you turn your eyes through your eye sockets, it's already retracted. So it's faster than, like, you could even, like, perceive it while moving relative to his speed. Meaning it's way faster than the increase that he gets from a Bankai to a Shikai distance. So he technically would be blitzing and sniping people with Shinso. Even if Shinso, well, I mean, granted, they might steal Shinso, but, like, you could probably argue
Could
with,
they
like, base
would
Shinso
they
using
even
Shin.
know when Shinzo goes Bankai? Because isn't its Bankai not transforming at all? It just gives it the poison.
Uh, yeah, but it just becomes, like, faster. To be
Well,
honest, it has a poison
so
thing, but, like,
if he doesn't tell them, would they even be able to tell?
so this kind of depends on how we interpret, like, fucking, like, the whole counterplay situation where it's like we have reason to believe that they would know about the idea of a Bankai. Because I feel like if assuming Aizen was, like, you know, what's it called, straightforward with everybody, I don't think even Aizen would be able to figure out that they would be stealing Bankai per se. You would probably just assume it's a seal or a power nullification. Because why would you assume they're stealing it? That's such a
Can't they
very
use the
specific.
Bankai per se?
They can.
Does it?
They have to be strong enough to, though. Otherwise, it's dangerous to them. Potentially kill them.
Yes, because if I recall correctly, like if
I
they're
mean,
too
like,
strong, they'll just kill them outright, right? Like that's what's stated.
Yes. That's why Yuha says, like, it's not that we couldn't steal your Bankai, it's that I am the only one who's capable, only I am capable enough of holding its enormous power. That's why I told Lord Roy to hold off until I got here. Which, that basically directly disproves anyone's claims that any of the Stern Ritter in any of their forms, with the exception of maybe, like, super amped Gerard Valkyrie, that basically confirms verbatim none of those characters scaled the Yamamoto at his, like, peak. There is a disgusting amount of people that are like the Schutzstaffel that go to the Soul King's Palace higher than Yamamoto, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Excuse you. I'm sorry, I must have missed the part where Yuha was like, yeah, listen, I wanted you to kind of exhaust your Bankai, created a perfect copy of myself that you could wail on and use up all your energy for, while I conveniently went to go and try and recruit the one guy that I know you can't kill, and then I told everyone to hold off until I came by to seal your Bankai. Yeah, totally not, like, scared of you or anything. Totally not prep timing. Totally.
I mean, you could just argue he would have won regardless of it. It doesn't really seem like it would have made that big of a deal if he could literally seal the Bankai away.
Well, so here's the problem: is that if you're making the argument that, like, I needed to wear you down, that basically means, like, even if you argue he wins, that basically means he's conceding that the Bankai at full power would cause a problem for him.
Does he
A
directly
problem that
say
might
I
lead to.
needed to weaken you, or does he just say you wasted your energy?
So he says,
Because
thankfully you've been weakened.
I'd have to see I'd have to see the scene in question.
But it's either thankfully you've been weakened, or now that you've been it's either something like now that you've been
He
worn
says you wasted
down.
your energy.
Uh,
Okay, yeah. See, that's the problem. Is that like depending on what he says and how he says it, you can legitimately argue for a case of either A, he needed to be weakened, or B, it's just convenient it was weakened and it makes it easier for him. Because Yuha makes it, or not Yuha, he makes it pretty clear from what I've seen in the anime that he's strong enough to absorb the Bankai. And the main advantage that like the Quincy's had in that fight was just the Bankais being absorbed. So I have no reason to believe that he wouldn't beat Yamamoto and Shikai. Actually, wait, hang on a minute. If you have to have power comparable to the Bankai in order to use it, wouldn't that mean that the Quincy scale to Bankai captains?
yes, but that's mainly in the context of like their full powers. Like, hang on.
Father went inside the lake. He said went inside the light of Alfheim?
Yes.
And yet he
Um, that is in the context of like
not incinerate.
their
Tell me, Kratos.
Bolständig, but that also does include the base forms to an extent.
I felt only moments pass.
Kind of weird
Feel like moments to
because
me.
I was trapped.
I'm trying to find the exact statement that he makes.
Save me.
One could but only imagine. Well then, Roa's triptych awaits.
Don't forget that's a weakened old man. He doesn't have one of his arms, which means he's missing one of the venties that releases his power.
That would include the U-Haul copy. No, Nello. Lloyd Royd would not be able to steal it, or if he stealed it, if he used it, it would kill him.
No, I think what Nello's saying is that the only person who could have stolen it is just Yuha. I think he's saying that even the clone couldn't, who convinced Yamamoto it was fine.
Oh, okay. I thought he was including him in that. So what he says is that have you used up all your strength fighting an imposter, Shigekuni Yamamoto? Let's see if I...
Actually, that was probably one of the stronger Stern Ridders in general. If he could literally make Yamamoto believe he's fighting the Yuha to force him to Bankai.
Oh yeah, he's also missing an arm, and it's consistently established in both the Aranka arc and in End of the Thousand Year Blood War arc with Yamamoto that when you are missing an arm, you lose a significant amount of power, like spiritual pressure wise. That's literally why both Yami is potentially at risk of being kicked out of the Espada, and Grimmjow flat out gets kicked out of the Espada when he loses his arm. And then he gets put back into the Espada immediately as soon as he recovers his arm. And then obviously you have the famous scene of Kenpachi being like,
Two hands are stronger than one hand?
You have no idea how much stronger it makes a man. I don't know. It's very much Kubo's impression on the nature of how kendo works. No, the two-handed stance. Trying to just tell the reader that yeah, it's always been a thing.
I just don't understand why only Kenpachi seems to get that massive buff from using two hands.
No, everyone does. It's just that it only makes a difference when Kenpachi does it, because Kenpachi's always holding
Well,
back.
no, like the issue I have with it is like you never like the series never makes a difference of like when Ichigo swings with the sword one handed, then he goes two handed. They never actually like talk about the difference in strength or even bring it up as relevant. Then Kenpachi does it one time and it's like holy shit. Don't forget the full.
That's because it wasn't until the Aranka arc that they were showing the significance of two hands.
Don't forget that Fullbring Bankai Ichigo was able to damage the real Yuha while he was bloodied and exhausted. Oh yeah.
I think they always planned to have him fight him. Oh my god, damn it. Going to the room.
Yeah, is that an added scene in the anime then?
It is. Yeah, I was gonna say that Ichigo for sure. I would argue is probably weaker than Yamamoto.
I don't know, he did better in the fight than
It's
Yamamoto
like,
did.
yeah, he did, but Yamamoto was also completely out of spirit energy and was missing an arm, and had also deactivated his Bankai at that point, and was also off guard.
Man, I heard a lot of excuses.
Oh, I love how he's just like, hey, the Roid Lloyd. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like that they didn't explain his powers, because there are millions of people who have watched the original Bleach that never checked out the Thousand Year Blood War in the manga, and they're seeing this for the first time. So from their perspective, they just saw this guy copy his powers and then just get murked, and were never given an explanation.
Yes. Now, why are you wrong?
Let's see if I find it.
Now, imagine what would have happened if Ichigo didn't get stuck by Golgi jail and joined in on Yami.
He basically says the same thing. You see, you exhausted your powers in the battle with an imposter. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. The structure of how that's mentioned makes it very clear that because he specifically says that after he steals the Bankai, like right before he does it, have you exhausted all your strength? And he's like, no, and then he goes Bankai and then he steals it, and it's just like, it's not that we couldn't steal your Bankai, it's who else but me can control your immense strength. That is the writer telling you that him exhausting his power is directly correlative to it getting stolen. Because,
Scan,
like,
please. Source.
yes, he's addressing.
Source.
Oh my god! I read the direct manga panel, and quoted it from the anime. How is that not enough?
Wait, are you gonna take the anime as higher canon for this then? Because it's like being like added new scenes.
They both say the same thing. They both say exactly the same thing.
Source?
Oh my god. Someone asked me for a source in Bleach. I'm like, I have the full manga. Shut your goddamn mouth. Imagine what would have happened if Ichigo didn't stuck Koge's jail and joined in on Yama. Then they probably would have realized, hey, that's not that guy's a phony. He's a fake. They'd be like, hey, we need to report a new case of identity theft. Poor old Yuha over here is getting his credit card information stolen.
Of course she did. Odin's working off a
This fucking Lloyd Royd loser.
So then, we can win Ragnarok. We can beat Odin.
We are not present in any of this.
But that was Tyr leading the charge against Asgard. Plus, Hell's army was there. And the elves. Champion. Okay. Whoever that is doesn't matter. But for the first time, we know something Odin doesn't.
They did.
We just saw we can win. Tyr?
I won't allow prophecy to define my choices.
But we just saw
No,
you.
Atreus. This is wrong.
I'll still say the death dealing is one of the silliest abilities in Bleach.
There is much to discuss.
So dumb.
The death dealing? The
What?
death dealing?
Yes. Are you aware of what it
And this is where it
does?
gets all proof that's all the Giants' fault. Always was. So, yeah, no, this gets really weird about Ragnarok as a whole. Is like, why would you lie in general about anything being destroyed if it's not even the right thing?
Lying is bad, children.
No, like literally Odin literally became super paranoid about his own death as a result of the Ragnarok prophecy. I guess the bitch couldn't see into the future on that one. Also, I'm gonna be honest here, if fate is predetermined, or if fate's not predetermined, how can you have a vision of the future?
All you're seeing in God of War is how people will generally act on a personal level. But if a person can change, then that vision is no longer accurate. Basically, what the Nords confirm is that what people don't have as futures. They have like outcomes that are consistent with how they act. It's just people don't change. So as a result of that, you basically can argue like most people generally are set in stone, and as a result, they have a fate that they're going to reach. Whereas for Kratos and Atreus, they specifically chose to change elements of their personality and how they acted. They also had pre-existing knowledge of information or events that might have occurred, and they chose to act on that. Which is why their quote-unquote fates turned out differently. Because they were literally given information and they were told, this is what's probably going to happen, this is what you'll act like if you don't change.
Lies. So then God of War just has like the worst. I guess God of War didn't so fun. Man, this game did not do any. This game did no fucking favors for this franchise, power scaling wise.
So the best possible interpretation you can take is that Kratos is consistently protected by fate to carry out his destiny, in which case he has no resistance or immunity to fate manipulation at all. Which is proven by every single prophecy statement in any of the pantheons. Because all of them predict exactly what he's going to do. The second, and probably the more consistent one, is that fate or prophecy is just a terminology that's used by people in the God of War universe incorrectly by characters in the God of War universe to interpret how people are acting in the context of their events, or
Dude,
in the context of their own
if
action.
prophecy and fate manipulation in this fucking franchise is literally just based on people's actions, it has nothing to do with any grandstanding things. Oh, that's so fucking bad.
Yes, it is awful. So what you're saying is it is all the Giants' fault that those people died? Technically, yeah.
I mean,
Because the Giants were like so focused and fixated on prophecy, they didn't realize that they really should have gone to the Nords, to be honest.
bro, what is this?
Thank you. At 4 a.m. I shall take my leave.
Alright, Mangler, you have a nice night. You want to give one last Death Devil before you decide to head out, or what?
Yeah, like that.
Later.
There's Mangler. Oh, good lord.
Perhaps we should focus on our egress first. Agreed. Watch out!
Well, how did it? Well, the Giants technically fucking. The Giants technically didn't die. They kind of left of their own free will. Stasis is not living. No, like, we get confirmation in the Ironwood that the Giants left to other lands. Like, we know the Giants left, you know? Oh, they put themselves in... That is true. They weren't the... The Giants were not very bright, all things considered. I will never understand the Giants' logic. I can't imagine how smart the Giants were after everything we've seen in this franchise. They not only had a world they could live to themselves in, hopefully someone will come along and have the ability to transfer souls. Not someone. They were hoping another giant would show up and, like, save them.
Quickly now before more arrive.
How the fuck does Tyr get around? The fuck?
Jumping.
That man's nimble as fuck. Well, was expecting it to end there, but we'll go ahead and call it there for
I can get out of here fast.
If you think you can, alright. Yeah, I'll give you 10 more minutes. Also know that those souls were in the Rock, the dumbest people in the series.
We need to keep moving.
He's really worked up. Think he's okay?
Focus, Atreus.
This way. Use a shield strike, brother.
Oh, damn it.
Well, I did say I'd give you 10 minutes, so you got 6 more minutes.
Oh, okay.
They got guys with the reason everyone is dead and things are so shit. Yes. I wouldn't even really call the Giants the good guys, if we're being honest. They're just not Odin. Well, no, I take it back. They're portrayed as, like, super epic good guys in this game. Like, they're portrayed as victims throughout the entire narrative. I will never understand how modern day games get off with the idea. It would have been better to pull knives when we find out they were controlling Odin and everything through their visions.
For the fates or for the game itself?
He's talking about Giants. Also, what won't you wonder about modern day games? Oh, sorry, I'll also ask a question over here on Discord. My issue with modern day games is that they will try and argue that everybody fucking, like, should be redeemed. Like, Odin's literally committed genocide, killed hundreds of thousands of people. Like, why is it so bad to just say maybe someone deserves to die, you know? Why is that so hard to say nowadays?
Oh, that's bullshit. I don't think it was bad to say or anything like that. It's just the direction they took with it.
Well, no, the problem is that
It's
not just this game. It's like in general. That's one of the things Last of Us 2 did. Nah, man, that's just fucking silly, though. Like, fucking... The fact that they literally think about letting Odin live as a soul marble is like, why? Why would you do that? Because, I'm just gonna say right now, the implication of Odin's soul marble is that at some point they're going to forgive him. That's the main reason why that's probably the main reason why he shows up and breaks the fucking orb. I don't like the fucking Freya too. Fucking basically gave up her entire revenge quest for nothing. Like, okay, so first off, I understand revenge doesn't bring you peace technically, fine. But well, first off, that's not entirely true in general. That depends on the person. I get we're trying to teach the idea that revenge doesn't give peace, but like that's wholly subjective. Secondly, it still feels pretty good though. It would have been amazing. Alright, Devil, I'm afraid your time's up.
Alright.
It would have been amazing if they actually had Odin being manipulated. Although, I guess you could argue he technically was manipulated. Since the only reason this series happens is because the Giants lied to him about the prophecy. However, I don't think the Giants are smart enough to realize they basically created their own genocide. Alright. Currently, I have 2 weeks to finish 2 essays worth 9 pages total. I should have enough time. Alright. Well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for your time as always. Have a nice day. The next stream will probably be on Wednesday with Kyle. And then we'll obviously be on Thursday for Kyle. We'll see what happens if any other streams go on in between that time. But now that I've got Mailer's opinion on the other side scaling, I'm going to try and go full steam ahead with that script so I can hopefully have that script done by next Friday, among other things. So yeah, I'm going to be busy. So probably no other streams from me personally. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your time as always. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys on the next stream or video. Take care, everybody.